this damn glare for good. You
Yeah,
forget
what the hell, man?
I don't know why it
All
keeps
Because
these,
doing it now.
your light
I
is
know,
just
but
right out of
all
frame.
these
That's why.
times, he's.
Yeah, but I've had it for what, years?
Can't you just tilt the camera down slightly?
Or just
uh,
put a cover over top of your camera.
I
Just
just put it right
There.
there. There's fine. There you
yeah.
go.
There you go.
All
I got a
right,
little
just in time. I think we're live. Let's see. Yep. So what's going on? Been what, 2 weeks, and
Yep.
still not a ton of stuff. We got the Game Pass
We got
price
Star Fox to
reduction.
talk about.
That remember that was supposed to be announced already.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a direct in April, so it's May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
I don't think it was supposed to be directed. If according to him, it was directed in June. But
No, I thought
Yeah, he said
for
June.
I thought the Star Fox game was supposed to be out by June or something.
no, no, no.
No, he said the direct
Oh,
was June.
okay.
Announced in April, released in June.
He just said summer.
I'm sure there's supposed to be a regular
Direct in
direct
June.
though. It's been since September.
Supposedly, well, I mean, I know like it's how in the past few years they haven't been as frequent directs anyway. So
I kind of feel like they're. I
I
think
think that might be a new norm. I think that might
Kit
be a
and
new norm.
Krista kind of had a topic. I mean, they did a 2-hour podcast, and it was part of it. It was the title, but I listened to a little bit, and I was like, I've been thinking that for a while that they're just kind of phasing out the directs because I mean, we got the Splatoon Raiders reveal and
that
release
could have been in a
date.
direct.
You know,
Yoshi trailer could have been in a direct.
yeah, it's like
you know.
that was some of the like points I thought there wasn't going to be. That one, what direct did I make say? There's no way into the Switch 2 announcement or whatever. There's no way they're going to do it. But some of the times I'm like they've already shown so many games like Donkey Kong Returns or whatever. Like they showed trailers for games that they could have put a direct and then they still had a
Yeah, I
direct.
mean, they announced the release date for Rhythm Heaven. And again, all these could have been in a direct a couple months ago. To be
I
honest,
wouldn't be shocked if the direct thing is winding down and it's going to be like only very special
All right, so
occasions.
they took away the live shows, and now they want to take away the directs.
That's just a theory. I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I feel.
Well, they got like the whole thing is not like it's weird because it's not like direct has gone away. They've had multiple
They
directs,
did.
but not
Yeah.
the general. Hey, here's this of everything we're going to show direct blowout
Mhm.
sort of stuff.
It'll be
You know?
curious to see because when is Splatoon Raiders? July or something? When's that coming out?
July.
So
Yeah.
now we got like a pretty big game in July. So it's like, but that I guess they wouldn't want to wait to June to like a summer event, like a summer direct. They wouldn't want to wait that long to give us the information. So they, if they're gonna do like a direct around the old E3 time, like a end of May, June thing, then
I still think they will.
I think
though,
that
because it's
that would have
June.
been cutting it too close. They probably want to get the word out sooner on Splatoon Raiders. So maybe that was just a fluke, but
Yes.
it's
know.
just who knows. Like as far as I'm concerned, even I mean, I still don't know the next Switch 2 game I'm buying. Like the Splatoon Raiders was just not what I wanted it to be. I mean, we might as well just talk about Splatoon Raiders first. It's everyone keeps saying, and I thought the same thing. It looks like Salmon Run, like a single player offline like Salmon Run at the basis of it with some obviously you move around, you go to the different areas, but I didn't see anything other than one kind of like melee looking special attack that looked anything different than just an offline Splatoon multiplayer type game like Salmon Run. That's maybe there's more to it. That's what I saw. I saw a bunch of people compare it to Salmon Run even after that. Watch
Oh
reactions.
yeah, definitely.
Because people are really creative, and
like
so
Salmon.
But I mean, that's just first thought. I mean, Clocked It said the same thing. I mean, it's just that's what it looks like. I don't. That,
Really, I still think like it. What I mean, I love the look of it just for the fact that you have these different islands you can go to, and then again you're still looking for these treasures. Okay, see what the hell's going on. You're able to really like upgrade. It's almost roguelike in a way where you're upgrading like your abilities. We're able to have for that time that you go to the island. Um, Looks interesting, man. I think it looks pretty interesting. And obviously, the big thing with the whole price where it's gonna be 50 digital and 60 physical, which is pretty interesting. And hey, man, I mean, I ain't gonna
That
knock
proves
that.
that the game is small because if you're
I
charging
don't know, man.
$60 for it,
I
I
don't
guess
know, man.
you didn't. You're
I
not getting my sarcasm at all.
No,
I kind of think
He's ready to defend. You hear this?
I kind of
no,
think it does
because a
because
lot of there are people that I mean, I guess
Splatoon's
I'm
a
sorry.
Yeah,
Splatoon's a big
that's
IP.
why.
I think if Nintendo was like, yeah, this is like
Uh,
this is our next big game, I think it would have been $70. Who knows what the actual final product is going to be, but
You don't think they didn't put, well, for one, even 60, just because uh there's not like the traditional multiplayer tie
unless you
into it?
believe, I mean, it's still like we'll never. I don't think we'll know until the next big, like
I think
Mario or
until
Zelda.
Mario. Yeah, I know what you're
So
about to say.
is it a $60 game and they're giving you a $10 discount for digital, or is it a $50 game and they're upcharging $10 for physical? Like that's what we don't know for 100%. I'm still on the
And what they
fence.
say, we'll have to, what they
Yeah,
say,
if the next
literally
3D Mario game digitally is 50 or 60 and the physical 70, I'll say okay.
70.
You
I
know.
agree. No, I still agree with you there. I
Mm-hmm.
still agree with you that if the digital is 70 and the physical is 80, then okay. Then now we're actually
And
that's
they've all
completely different.
yeah. But I kind of feel like that's some indicator. They said that the pricing with Mario Kart 8, we're going to judge pricing based on a bunch of factors, and so we'll
Variable
see.
price.
So for me, in my like fantasy of a single player Splatoon game, I love the characters, the world. I don't need the multiplayer shooting mechanics. I just wanted like a adventure game. Yeah, you can have the shoot ink for traversal and stuff, but I was looking forward to like platforming, adventuring, exploration. I just don't at this point after two Splatoon game that I played, the first two, I just don't care about shooting things with your guns like that. To me, is just it's I'm bored with that whole idea, and even not just in Splatoon, but like Call of Duty, all the shooters, I just kind of fell out of love with. So
Other than the thumbnail on this podcast
that's
with
true.
Zeros.
That
To be fair, you still enjoy shooting around and do things.
yeah. I mean, of course, not like every single shooter, but as far as like the Splatoon mechanics,
oh, is it Soros? Is that the thumbnail?
yeah.
Yeah.
Exposed.
Like this, it's just. I guess to them it makes sense. And Splatoon fans, like people who are still in love with the franchise, it makes sense. But just for me, somebody who's just after two games was kind of moved on, I was hoping for something more than just offline, kind of the multiplayer, but offline, like not the main multiplayer, but like the Salmon Run type of thing. So I have no
Yeah,
intentions
but I
of
still
picking
think
it
they're
up.
fleshing it out. Just
Yeah,
the core
like crafting
gameplay
your own
loop. I just
weapons and
don't think you're
stuff,
gonna
but
be caring about it.
that's something. But I get what they showed
And the
me.
different islands, like they have the whole map where you're gonna go to different islands and it's actually different environments. Like it's not.
Yeah, maybe the next
They haven't.
trailer I'll be like, holy crap, that looks pretty awesome. But at this point,
Well, I don't think so though. For you,
0% interest
because
in.
it's
No way
it's
I'm
still
picking up the
based
game.
on the core thing that you're not caring about. So I get it.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change. That's not gonna change.
But I mean, I think it's cool. Look, in the end of the day, it's this year. They other than Mario Tennis, they have been experimenting with different prices, which is interesting.
Mhm.
Literally, essentially every
Which
single
one?
game.
What was Mario Tennis? 70.
That was still 70, physical and digital. And then
It's
and
weird
then
that they
everything
just.
else afterwards, they've been kind of
It's like they
trying to
drew a hard
find
line. Why didn't they just say, you know what, we're giving a $10 discount. All our
for
games,
everything
digital
before.
versions, $10 cheaper. Like if that's their plan, why
Well,
didn't they
they
do
want to go,
that?
hey, from here on out, everything else before, no.
Why wouldn't they
Even though it's
just
only been-
discount all their first party digital games $10? I don't like
Yeah,
if
you
that's what
think.
you're gonna do it. Like it's just weird.
No, I agree.
That, especially games that came out like right before they announced this. Like
Yeah. They probably already thinking also like, man, if we do that, that means we gotta give these people that paid something
no, they
extra.
don't.
Like, I bet you,
You gotta
yeah.
make
What?
them. You gotta make them Nintendo ambassadors again.
Prices go down. I mean, usually not
You're
anymore.
talking about if they bought the 6 games, that's $60. They're gonna be like, oh man, we could have made that's $60. I deserve $60 back, Nintendo.
Or they should
People would
have.
do that. Come on, man. There's lawsuits about everything in the world. People would do that.
Yeah,
Give me.
there won't be enough people who nobody cares. There won't be enough people to complain about that. Anyone who care.
But
So,
it's Nintendo, you know, like
what do you
they don't
think,
like
T?
to
I
put on
know
eggshells
you skipped Splatoon 3, didn't you? Or did you pick
I
it
did.
up?
I have not picked it up yet. It's actually in my cart. I'm going to buy it at some point.
Is Raiders doing anything for you? The trailer?
Kinda. I mean, I'm not like overly excited about it. Am I going to get it? Yeah, because I actually like the single player stuff with Splatoon, and there used to be a lot of excitement around that, and nobody cares anymore about single player for Splatoon. That was a big complaint early on. Why can't you do this? Why aren't there, single player lovers? I mean, they have them
No,
obviously,
they got. I mean, that's what all the DLCs have all been single
and
player
all the
DLCs.
right.
Yeah,
So
I think
but
that's
there
what killed
used
it
to be
for
a lot of
me.
excitement around that.
Was the Octo expansion? I was just like, yeah, this is.
Oh man, I love that fucking Octo expansion, man. That shit is so good. That's why it's like for me, it's like realistically, like those are my. I could play that game and I feel like I've gotten my fill of hey, that's my single player Splatoon personally. So it's kind of like so it's like this is one that's different from those. So I'm like, all right, well they're trying something different for a single.
I think
player.
the weapons look cool as shit.
I like the
Yeah,
the haircut
they have that.
before.
What was it like
I like-
an axe thing? Something like that?
Mhm.
It looked
I hope
pretty
this
cool.
hairstyle
And
is an
that
option.
spinner shit that spin around you, and that shit look cool as hell.
I do like that hair. That
This
is a cool
hairstyle, that hairstyle is awesome.
It's the first choice, so it looks like you could pick it. Well, before that.
So I watched this on my phone. It's my first time seeing it. I'm not seeing Switch 2 leap over Switch Splatoon 3. Personally, I haven't watched any comparisons. Just based on that screen, I haven't. Let's see what the main game looks like, but that doesn't really look like a Switch 2 game. Watching this on my PC monitor for the first time.
Raiders is probably.
But even then, like
designed for Switch 1.
Even then, if they did make it on Switch 1, I mean, you'd have the comparison and be like, oh, that's.
Yeah, the
really
Switch 1
lower
version
res-
obviously would be lower res
Yeah.
and stuff, but I'm not seeing a generational leap in this footage. But
I'm be so honest. I think as with all these consoles, I think especially with Nintendo games, I think you're going to continue to see a law of diminishing returns.
I don't know,
quicker
Well, I was
for-
gonna say, I don't know if
some-
you guys seen the
some
beta
frame
stuff
rates.
for Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I saw
It's not too far off from what we got on Switch 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
I
it,
mean, like
it was
this
just
maybe
obviously they're able to hammer
maybe it's set
make a
maybe the
stable
settings are
frame
it's only
rates
at
and stuff like that.
720.
Well, yeah, obviously the frame rate.
It was only at
You know,
720.
that's-
Let me
yeah, that's the way
let me
that they-
reevaluate. It was at 720 on YouTube, so on my end.
Yeah, I mean,
without resolution, I mean that's a big chunk of the processing power or resolution bump. So I mean it's clean for sure now that
and
I have
remember,
it up to a good
Nintendo for some reason
resolution.
isn't using DLSS for anything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know for Splatoon's art style. I don't know how much more you can do in a
That's
generation.
what I'm saying.
I
Like,
think
these
the
character
light- I
models
think-
look so clean. Like
Textures, sure.
I think the lighting would be
some
the
lighting
biggest thing,
stuff.
and the texture. Obviously, character models would just be a little more,
Character
round
models
and
look
less.
already like 10 out of 10. I don't know how you could really, unless you make it more detailed. But like
just
that
like
is the
get
art
rid of
style.
some of the.
Like they're rubbery. You know what I mean? Like that
Mhm.
is the art style.
Right,
They're like
that's the style.
Fish
I-
sort of. You know
Looks
what I mean?
like they're probably going for a lot of stuff on screen too, so
Yeah.
that would probably be the reason.
Which makes sense if it's like I said, if it's more of a Cimarron-esque.
Yeah, and it's crazy to do a reveal the release date and have such. I mean, yeah, it does give you information, but if it doesn't, it feels kind of still cryptic, which maybe that's their goal. But like I said, there could be like an epic trailer or something later on that maybe that's all right. I see something in there that might be interesting, but
for sure.
yeah. Speaking of
How we
like
buying this?
visuals and DLSS doing a thing. Like I was surprised Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks anywhere near as good as it does, and runs at a pretty solid 30 FPS. Like that was pretty surprising. I didn't play the demo myself, but I did see some videos.
Yeah, Splatoon 1 to 2. Good question. I played Splatoon 1 probably 3 times a week, thanks to my students. So
Well, Splatoon 2 was basically it was a Wii U game they put out on Switch. I mean that.
well, that's my point exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
3 would
it's
be
probably
3
not.
was
There's actually like a decent like upgrade in some ways. I feel, but it's not like a big.
no,
It's
but
also not a big
once I bumped the
crazy.
resolution up, I definitely see it's definitely a lot cleaner than when I first started the trailer earlier.
No, obviously, Wii U to Switch isn't as big a jump.
And I think
as
Yeah.
Splatoon
Switch
2
to
That
was
Switch 2.
probably was mostly developed on Wii U, I would guess. I mean,
Well, I
Yeah.
think also again like you said, they're not using DLSS for all these things, so they're going
Mhm.
true 4K for a lot of them. That's gonna hamper it down for a lot of things. Stuff like that is gonna be tougher
but it
on.
depends on if what the game's doing. If it's a lot of CPU stuff, then DLSS really you're gonna have too much performance hit to activate. And there's 2 versions. I kind of heard about it, but yeah, there's like a really light version of DLSS, and then like the basic the PC version on Switch 2, depending on the games. Some use the main one, and a couple have used like the light version. I think it was the Fallout 4 was it barely looks any different, and you get like 1 or 2 frames better. It's like it's not a big it was they made a big deal, well, I guess not a big deal, but they made an announcement, oh, we got the DLSS patch out, and it's like, well, it
Hey
looks the
man,
same.
PC gamers be upgraded $100 for 4 frames a
Yeah.
second. Man.
Yeah, but you either would hope for like a nice improvement to image quality or performance improvement, not kind of neither. But again, if it's an older game, CPU heavy, it's not really where the Switch 2 shines. It's more.
Well, yeah, I was actually JBig's Indiana Jones looks really good on Switch
I
too.
have
I
not,
was
only
seeing it.
saw the on my phone. I haven't looked up
Buy
that.
it, and it's all on the cart. Buy that shit.
It's on the
Don't
cart,
wait.
it's bizarre, man. I still
Buy
find it
it.
very bizarre.
Let's look that up.
But it does look good, man.
It does look good.
Yeah.
As a person who's, played it on the Xbox Series X, looks really good.
Is anybody but Nintendo Life have something out now?
I think did I see it from
I'll
Nintendo?
just
It
do
probably
the Nintendo
was.
Life one.
Probably was. They show like a variety of environments, so
Again, I only watched this mainly on my phone before, so this will be my first time kind of seeing it closer to.
Very good.
This probably is this a real time cutscene? Let's jump ahead here.
yeah, I
Yeah, they
those
are.
were all real time.
All of them
Yeah.
are.
Go to some gameplay.
The fact that you're asking,
Very
Well, there's
dark.
not a lot of game.
It's
Not a lot of
very dark.
gameplay in this part. This is the beginning of the game. But I do think they get into like the cathedral stuff, which is pretty cool.
And I mean, I've seen some footage of the Series X PS5 version, but it's been a while. So it looks to me like an obvious drop in like the character models, but not like they still look like the actors.
Well, I don't see. Again, I don't see it's. I wouldn't say it's like such a crazy obvious. Like I'd be thinking like, it's
I can
still
tell.
See,
There's
that does
definitely-
not look like as much like Harrison Ford as I remember seeing from the other versions of the game. But maybe that's just the way he looks.
That
in
was the
game.
thing, though. The game, like that's what we said early on when the game was first shown. Is like
There's some ray trace right there.
that Harrison Ford, the character, or the Indiana Jones character, looked like it was a little bit of Baker and Ford mixed
Yeah,
together.
that's true. I do remember.
So yeah, he that's how he looks.
Because the other guy
Xbox
looked just
version.
like from the movie, the other
Yeah.
actor. And this comes out in
I don't
this
know.
month
I'm not sure. I haven't.
or
don't-
June.
I don't remember actually.
I have to look it up because I don't remember what.
I'm buying something this month. What is it? I thought it was this.
Switch 2 comes out
I mean,
May 12th.
it looks
May 12th,
good.
yeah.
It doesn't
Oh,
like
so it is this.
I'm not
It's
wowed
next week.
by like some of the Star Wars. Maybe because we're just used to it already. Like Star Wars Outlaws was like the first one where I was like, wow, that looks great. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
but this is what the game looks like. I'm not understanding.
Well,
like,
yeah, maybe that's the thing.
similar
Maybe
Maybe
that's a
I'm
good
just getting
thing
used to it.
that you're not wowed by because Switch 2 has already
Like
proven
this looks
itself.
better than I think the indoor the museum part. Like this looks really good.
Great game. Great game. I haven't played the DLC. I want to play that, but the game.
I wonder if did he say that the DLC was gonna even come to this? I'm sure it will.
I'm
but-
sure it will. I don't think they announced it yet, but
What was the last first person? Oh, I was playing Cyberpunk. I was gonna say.
That would have been a good, I know they won't, but it's kind of like Cyberpunk where they bundle the together.
and in the vein of like Metroid Prime, this is a first-person adventure. You know,
Yeah.
This isn't. People wanted it to be Uncharted. It's not Uncharted. It is. It's actually more melee, as you can see, driven than anything.
Speaking of Uncharted, some
Gunplay.
previews of the 007 game, people are comparing it more to Uncharted than even Hitman series.
Wow.
But I think it's because of the script, like the driving sequence looks very Uncharted.
It kind of makes sense from what we've seen.
Do I want that? I don't know.
I mean,
I honestly don't know.
It's fun in those games. But if
I'm just saying, do I want that for
I don't know.
007?
Maybe. If enough people
Maybe, yeah.
seem to be kind of very impressed with the game. I mean, but again, Hitman's pretty well received, and I played the demo and I was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe if I dove into it deeper, but it didn't. The demo definitely didn't sell me on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I definitely I enjoyed it.
There's some really cool like puzzle solving and whatnot in here, and there's this area you better not go into. A little bit to the right over there. I'm just a little heads up for you guys. Stay away from those soldiers.
At the end of the day, I mean, I love the idea.
He's in disguise right now. He's wearing a priest disguise, and that's why he's able to go around. But he's not fooling those guys, so stay away. Like, bitch, we don't know you.
I love the idea of a physical, the whole game on the cart and stuff. But at the end of the day, if I was gonna play Indiana Jones, I'm gonna get the PS5 version. You know, I think
For sure.
Well, yeah. Now that there's going to be a PS5 version, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's like,
But
I'm glad.
I was going to say you can't play it on the go, but you can. You have a PlayStation Portal.
Playing on the go is. I'm not.
That's an extra thing you gotta buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to you, Juice, but
I'm saying, that wouldn't sway me.
and it's not even just on the go. Sometimes you don't feel like sitting in front of your fucking setup.
Yeah, I mean, I played Silksong handheld for about at least 4 hours, I would say, total out of my 50. But I mean, it looks like it's running okay. I don't know if it's the stream. Looks like there's some little hitches here and there, but it's definitely a massive improvement over Switch 1 ports.
That's some of the coolest puzzle solving stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not even to me. That's not even a comparison. Say Switch 1 versus Switch 2 sort of stuff. That's where it's like.
Is this a 60 FPS option on the Series X and PS5, or is it a 30 cap?
I thought it did. I guess
honestly, I don't remember.
There's hardly any
might have
30 only.
after I finished it.
There's hardly any 30 FPS only games really on this this current generation.
I know it was 30 when I first played it, so I don't.
I know Starfield started out at 30, and now that has 60 as well.
Yeah.
Wonder
if Starfield's coming.
Starfield's out, isn't it? Oh, you mean Switch?
Switch.
Well, based on the Fallout
stuff, so technically, at some point,
it's used the
I
same
feel like
engine
it will
as
be
Fallout,
because
right?
it's not doing too well on PS5. That's for sure.
Based on Fallout 4, their engine's not the best on Switch 2, so maybe if Starfield's more demanding, it could potentially be a little challenging.
I'm sure it is more demanding.
Yeah, but we're also talking about Bethesda, man. The way they optimize, I'm sure they aren't the greatest.
Yeah, we're talking about Bethesda.
Let's be for real.
Well, let's get into the Game Pass reduction in price. That doesn't happen too often in the world today. I don't think Disney Plus or Netflix. I don't think Netflix or Disney Plus have ever like, oh wait, we got to back that price back down. Was it
Well,
just
that just means there really was probably a hit on them.
you think it was?
They
But
probably,
it
like,
did. There is a caveat, right? Some of the games aren't day and date, or just Call of Duty.
No, just Call of Duty.
Just Call of Duty. That
Yeah.
well,
Which
we already
most people don't give a shit about. I
and we
think
already
most
knew
people are
because they said how much
fine with that.
how much did they lose by putting Call of Duty on Game Pass? They said in sales.
Yeah.
It's like
But it
300
also,
well,
I
no,
mean,
I
it
thought
also
there,
didn't
I thought it
sell
was
as
like
well.
I was gonna say it didn't actually move the needle like apparently for Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
it didn't move the needle to get
Was
people
it
on the
this
Game Pass.
this one or the previous one? Because this is 2 Call of
It was
Duties
the
now,
last
right?
two, Black Ops 6 and 7. Remember?
Yeah.
I thought they said that something about 300 million lost in sales, and some people, I guess, how did
I don't
I don't know where you got that
I
from.
just remember
I saw
there
I
was-
saw an
the
article a
reason they
while
didn't have
ago.
is they were saying that they didn't see an uptick in Game Pass.
Okay, that makes
If they didn't
sense
see an
too.
uptick in Game Pass, then Game Pass isn't hurting them.
Even
Because
before the price
because
hike,
people
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I figured like my brother-in-law and his family, like his son, his daughter, like they all play Call of Duty every year, and it's still cheaper just to buy the game and pay for Xbox Live, whatever the base one is, like for the year,
Yeah.
like than to have Game Pass. They don't play any other games ever, so
Yeah, if you got somebody
You're
who doesn't
literally
play,
just like the Call of Duty player, the Fortnite player, like it
it's
doesn't
actually
make sense.
more expensive to
Yeah.
do Game Pass than to buy the game.
Yeah.
And
Oh well, yeah, I mean way more. If you're
so
doing just one game, you're only playing one game. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like,
I wonder.
but I mean, it's funny because it's they lowered the price, right? And yeah, they did lower the price, but it is funny because unfortunately it's not gonna go back to because it went from 20 to 30, so now it's 30 to 23, right?
they technically still raised the price. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
great that it's not 30 anymore, and you took Call of Duty out, which I don't care about at all. But you still raised the price. Let's just be real.
And if you notice, if you do the math, it's like if you do like 7 times like 12, it's essentially what Call of Duty costs.
Yeah.
It's like as if you were to buy
Yeah.
Call of Duty Plus
Mhm.
Game Pass Ultimate. So it's almost like, well, you know what? If someone does buy Call of Duty and they have Game Pass, it's like they're paying the same thing for what they did.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
The only
funny.
way that works, Call of Duty being in there and moving the needle, is you're gonna have to drag over PlayStation fans who are like, "Oh, I didn't want to pay for it. I'm gonna play it on Xbox." That shit ain't
Yeah.
happening. That shit ain't gonna happen. So it's like
Or if you got
there was never any real incentive to do it, unless you had the balls to make it exclusive. That's the only way you're gonna move the needle
Mhm.
for Call of Duty.
the only way, which I don't even know if they can right now, because technically
Well, they can't do it now because it's they've basically signed
that's right.
deals.
Yeah.
So could they do it in 10 years? Maybe.
They also signed a deal for
But at that point-
Nintendo to get Call of Duty, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
It's gonna happen this
No,
year. If
and
it does-
I still will say, because nobody puts it out there, is that they fucking lied about Call of Duty for Nintendo, because they were talking about Switch 1.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, we can get 150 million new players." Bitch, you're talking about Switch,
Yeah.
because that's not what Switch 2 had. There was no Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what were you talking about? You were talking about Switch. So they were making it seem like they were going to put a Call of Duty on Switch, and they didn't. And they could have. It's not like Switch couldn't handle a Call of Duty, but they never did that. You lying
Like
bitches.
full parody Call of Duty? I don't know. Maybe.
Full parody? Well, no. I mean,
that
the
was
Not
Wii,
on
the Wii
Switch
versions
one.
weren't full parody.
No.
I don't know.
But
I still think it'll be. My theory was still always, and I know the 150 disproves it, but I always said that I thought it was just that they were already in discussion for a Switch 2. But that doesn't
Which is
even make
fine.
sense.
But again, they had signs up that said 150 million new players.
Not only that,
And
but
I'm like-
even what I just said doesn't make sense, because in that case, why wasn't like Black Ops 7 at least last year then on Switch 2? So
well,
it is what
this
it is.
November will be. There'll be
Maybe it
no
was
more
150.
excuses.
It was like 120 million, something like that.
If it don't come
but
out,
that means this year it technically has to come out on Switch 2.
if the next game don't
This-
come out on Switch 2, it ain't coming out.
No,
They ain't
I-
releasing Call of Duty
I-
on Switch 2.
100% no. I believe it's going to be on Switch too.
Because then in that case, Nintendo got to sue them.
Yeah. Then that's a lawsuit.
Yeah, what the
We
fuck
signed the
going on,
deal,
man?
bitch. Although
It's the
Nintendo
third
signed deals
year.
before.
It's like the third year this shit.
Nintendo signed deals with Sony and backed out of that shit. So
It may be like, I mean, maybe the Call of Duty, maybe it's finally gonna about over. Maybe this last two games, they're just run
Oh,
out. They're just Black Ops forever now. Is it just Black
no,
Ops 8,
no.
Black Ops 9?
They already talked about how they were gonna like they're in the future not gonna repeat like the same series back to back for years or whatever. And also, again, I know people are like, oh, it's the end of Call of Duty, but Black Ops 7 was still the top 5 selling game of the year. Like,
Well, I
I
mean,
hate to
I'm
break
not
it to you,
right.
saying it's
not
over
number
now,
one or
but
number two, but top 5 is
it's top five
top
now.
5.
Maybe in
There's
2 years it's top 10. That's what I'm saying.
Or
Like,
maybe it's
no
top
shot,
one.
yeah, it could be back to
no
Or
number
maybe
one.
it
shot,
goes back the other way. Like,
Yeah,
no shot
Call of
in
Duty's too
2
strong.
years.
I don't see it.
No shot in the world, I think.
I
Like
think of
somebody else would have to come along with the
Yeah.
fact that the games aren't as good. That's the
Like
only way.
literally like steal everybody. And I know temporarily, like it's gotta be
Yeah.
like they
Like
bro, like
Battlefield's gonna have to come out and just be, oh, this the new hotness,
Call of Duty is a
and
whole
then
franchise. You're gonna just like everything, you gotta have peaks, you gotta have low points. It's just that's the world how we know it. And you ain't ever seeing Call of Duty out of the top 10 in our lifetime, probably.
yeah, and it was only a matter of time at that with that system, yearly fucking games coming out, that there's gonna be some ebbs, and we're
Yeah.
in an ebb right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's not, and people rewrite history, but the one right before it, Black Ops 6, was very praised and people enjoy the shit out of it. And then Black Ops 7 was it's like it has one down year and people are like, oh my God, it's the
yeah,
end of it. Like, come on, man.
Xbox
It's
tax,
just like
man.
everything. Like, again, if
Microsoft
your
own that shit.
down
Oh,
year
it's
is,
terrible now.
yeah, if your down year is top 5, you're doing pretty damn well for yourself. Like,
I just think all good things come to an end. I think it can't
so
go
it's been
forever.
over 20 years. This is a franchise, a multi-billion franchise that is ingrained in society. This is not
I guess
something
I'd have
that
to see if they
goes
have any
away.
statistics on
Imagine a
like
person
new players.
saying,
Like are they getting new players? Are they young players? Because that would be
That I don't
interesting
know.
to
I mean,
see.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
It's totally unrelated, but when I grew up, I knew a lot of people buying Harley Davidson motorcycles, and you get
yeah,
you start
what's
out
the
on a
problem though?
Sportster, like a $10,000 bike, and then you move up. But the last was it 2 years or two? I don't know. They've missed like the average age of a new Harley Davidson rider is like 46 years old now. No one in their 20s are going
Why
out
is
riding
that?
motorcycles.
Why is that?
Just different generation. Just like it's just not a thing for them. To younger.
Yeah, Harley also has not like tried to cater to younger audiences
I think it's
and
just
get
part of the
new.
whole just the change of these generations. They don't go to bars anymore. They're not nearly as much. It's just they don't go out, socialize as much. It's just
I see young bikers all the time. So I just think they don't care about Harley because their Harley looks like an old guy's motorcycle.
I guess I don't even see like kids on crotch rockets much anymore. But anyway,
I see it
the
all
point
the time
is
here.
they're dying out, and just because they don't have any new young people getting into the
So,
brand.
yeah, that could maybe be like, maybe definitely 100% some of that audience was taken away for Fortnite, no doubt about it. Like it's like Fortnite and again Apex Legends and stuff like that, and our Arc Raiders, stuff like things like that over time for sure, no doubt about it. But it's such a mainstay in society that I don't see it dying.
Yeah, like go watch a stream. A lot of people playing in fucking Call of Duties aren't my age. A lot of these guys are young fucking dudes. One of the guys who should be playing Call of Duty and stop playing basketball, Bronny James, he's very good at Call of Duty, not as much at basketball. He brought, because of him, you had like Aiden Ross come out because Aiden Ross was a friend of his and they played, and that's how he became a big streamer. So there
Yeah,
are
that's
young guys.
my
who
point. Was
still
I'd be
rock Call of
curious to
Duty.
see like if they're like, oh, they got a steady influx of younger gamers getting into Call of Duty every year, then yeah, they're nothing to worry about. I'd just be curious what those stats are if they even have them.
I would think. I mean, again, I'm not 100% sure, but I'd imagine with Warzone and mobile alone, since they're both free to play, like I'm sure that they get new player all the time. especially mobile.
Ayers come in with the comment right there. That's a great comment because yes, a lot of people who I'm pointing at my Zelda lawn and saying, "Get off my lawn! I want my dungeons and all this shit back." But there's millions of new Zelda players who don't give two shits about your dungeon setups. They love Breath of the Wild. They love Tears of the Kingdom, and they're very young. A lot of these players. So
and they're the biggest. Like it's the newest spike. It's the newest peak.
yeah,
40 years down the road. So I mean, look, something like Call of Duty could very well have 5, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years down the road have a new peak. It's just how it is. It's just
the difference.
Tears of the Kingdom didn't do anywhere near as well as Breath of the Wild did. Oh, the series is going down, son.
It only sold
22 million.
Sold millions less than Breath of the Wild did. That
Here's
means
a question we'd never know. But
series is in trouble.
If they didn't redo Hyrule with just some changes, could it have matched Breath of the Wild if it wasn't quote unquote more of the same?
No, man. I
don't know.
Breath of the Wild
sequels always do.
Usually do less, like majority of the time.
And Breath of the Wild was such a unique case of a game, man. Like this, like a very perfect timing. Obviously
new console.
And Zelda obviously doesn't come out every year. They might have a release almost annually of some sort of Zelda, but like their mainline Zelda games were, one, maybe two per generation. I think that helps with Nintendo's longevity of their franchise.
After the NES, that is. We had 3, or no, we got 2 on the NES back to back. And we got 1 on the Super Nintendo, but we also got 2 on the N64. We got 2 on the GameCube.
Oh yeah.
We got 3 this
well,
time.
if you count, it's kind of some overlap. Wii and GameCube. You could say they both got 2, but really they shared 1.
Oh, yeah.
They both got.
Well, yeah. I mean, how you view it. I mean,
same with Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild with the Tears and Echoes.
And then there's a lot of spin-offs now and side games, remakes, remasters. What? Oh, I think it was the Ocarina of Time leak that was supposed to be announced already. I believe that was
no,
I didn't hear that at all.
Well, there was a countdown. Maybe it was just a general direct. April was like
it was for Star Fox, man. Star Fox was supposed to be like the one that was supposed to get announced already.
I thought I said that earlier, and you're like, no, June.
Did. We did. No. I don't know.
I was talking about the announcement was supposed to be in April. And came.
Yeah, we said it. What I thought you said no, but you also said that a general direct was supposed to happen in April.
No,
but initially I said Star Trek. You guys know that's June. That was June prediction.
And now you just said Star Trek.
Star Fox. Sorry.
Yeah, Star Fox was supposed to be announced in April.
That
was the rumor.
That's maybe I misspoke, but that's what I meant
earlier. In the summer.
If we go back, you said general direct, like a direct.
Yeah, to come out in the summer. That's all I heard was summer. And then there's supposed to be, there was going to be no directs until June. No general direct.
But I also think that might have been them.
None of this is coming true so far.
I think that was Nintendo trying to find their source of their leak. That
could have been them, because that's people would say that Nintendo. Kate and Krista said that, right? They would put out stuff to see.
Remember they did it already with Star Fox Grand
shit.
Prix. Remember Star Fox Grand Prix for Wii U?
Yeah.
And
Star Fox Grand Prix.
Because it was supposed to be. I like. I mean, if that is the case though, Nintendo got to stop using Star Fox as the damn thing. They did for Star Fox Grand Prix, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, Star Fox for Switch 2."
Because they know that it's a dead franchise, so they don't. That's an easy one.
Yeah, J Biggs, I think you're right, because I remember thinking, man, the next big Star Fox is gonna come out, the same way Star Fox 64 did. Star Fox 64 literally came out a day after my birthday. And I remember that.
I think they would have built upon the hype.
There.
You think they would have built upon the hype of the movie if they were going to announce it in April? If it was a game that was going to be out and they were going to announce it, April makes sense because you want the hype of the movie.
But here's the thing. None of that makes sense for Nintendo. Nintendo don't do shit like that. We're going to show this character. No, that's going to lead to a game. Nintendo has never done anything remotely like that. So it also didn't feel like Nintendo.
People are trying to tweet that to Donkey Kong Bonanza, but Bonanza's been in the works before that.
Bonanza's been in the works since 2017. They started working on Bonanza.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm convinced that Look, in the end of the day, I still admittedly believe it, and I think that it's
Hmm.
just they just weren't gonna reveal it at that time, and I don't know why. Maybe things could change, but
Yeah.
I would personally be surprised that they use Star Fox in such a big way for the movie, and then they don't do anything ever. It would be very strange. And if
Yeah,
for
that
some
would be
reason,
strange. The new
if
model,
he,
his new look,
yeah, like
you
let's
know.
say
Well, even
he's wrong, but I still think there'll be a Star Fox within this generation, like for Switch
Hmm.
2.
or
Even
at
if it's 5
least
years, 6 years down the road, like I
Yeah.
still think that they will release something
But
because it
people
just
have been
makes
jumping and diving on Nate the Hate's head and shit over this, and it's it's kind of funny. And what one person said is that maybe you shouldn't have put a date on it. Should have just said
yeah,
a Star Fox game is coming, and nobody would be beating you upside the head as much as they are right
yeah.
now. And
and
he
maybe
agreed. He
they
was like,
said, you
"Yeah, I
know
probably
what,
shouldn't have."
we're gonna
But
change it so that this person, so they'll be like, oh, he's
Could
not
be. I
trustworthy.
mean, literally,
he put a
gotta
date
be,
and all
man.
that shit on Switch too when it's coming out and all that, and he was completely right about that shit.
Yeah.
So there was no
Yeah,
reason to not think he was right about this,
yeah.
you know. But sometimes shit changes, you
But
know.
you know what? I was looking at a list of stuff that he got wrong. It's actually a decent amount of things that I didn't
Yeah.
real like I didn't like. Apparently, he was talking about there was a Planet Robobot remake coming that never
Hmm.
happened so far.
It's
Well,
funny
I
with
think that's still supposed to be a possibility from
with
what I've seen.
with leaks
Maybe
and
Switch One.
rumors. Most people only remember what they got right. With everything else in life,
Mm.
they only remember what you got wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But my
I
thing
think
is
I think
not that
thinking of
you made a guess and you got something right. My thing is you got dates that and it should actually happen on those
yeah,
dates and nobody else knew anything about it. So there is
yeah.
some smoke to his
Hmm.
There's
fire.
some big,
He knows
there
some
is big.
shit,
Yeah.
but maybe this is the time that like you said Nintendo was putting ninjas out trying to figure out who was leaking shit.
Mhm.
And this is just a fake story. Although the game might still be real, the timing of it is probably or could be wrong. You know.
Did
It
the
could even be something where, like, like I said, they're throwing out things like to say an Ocarina of Time remake. That's something where they could have thrown it out. Where it's like, yeah, maybe we'll do that one day, but we'll throw it out because that's something that's easy to hear people will leak or not.
Yeah.
But my thing is, he said a lot more than those two. He put out even till 2027 some stuff. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, damn, man. I'm like, he like laid out the whole calendar year for some things, and I
Hmm.
was like, yo. So I
That's a
don't
little
know.
ambitious.
I don't know. That's if he gets, you know,
he should
all
have
those
saved some
things
of that
wrong.
for
That's gonna be really
you know.
bad.
and,
What happened?
and other people were reporting on this shit too. It wasn't like it was just him. Other people also said, I guess they probably said it after him.
Yeah, they
So
probably just took his report.
took his shit and act like they knew something.
Yeah. Well, they were saying, oh yeah,
I talked
we've
to my
heard
sources and they
also.
said the same thing.
That's it, exactly. Well, they said that we've heard from sources also that
Confirmed.
they are working
Well,
on
why
Starfield.
why didn't your sources initiate that shit? Why you had to go ask them after the fact? That seems kind of bullshit to me. I don't
What
know.
was that one that was the go-to early Switch days? What was her name?
Emily
Mm.
Rogers.
Emily Rogers?
Emily
Emily
Yeah.
Rogers.
Rod-
Oh, Lord Kate Dale and Emily
There
That was
was
Rogers.
Wii U.
two. Yeah. Remember
That was
those?
Wii U, right?
Well, they were getting
They were completely wrong by a
all
lot
the
of things.
definitive, like,
Ah,
oh, you're getting a special edition Xenoblade Chronicles X, you're getting this, you're getting that, and that was Splatoon Definitive Edition or whatever, and it was Splatoon
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
and then it's like, oh, we never got the Xenoblade Chronicles. Well, I guess we did. Six
oh, we
years
did
later,
get it. She wasn't wrong.
7 years, 8 years
Here it is.
later.
Yeah, 8 years later.
Hey, Pikmin 3, or Pikmin 4. Was it Pikmin 4 that we were waiting on, or was it or
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
it
but
3?
Miyamoto himself said it. That was different.
Well, all right, but how long did it take for that bitch to come out when he said that shit?
Man, I don't think
So
he's the first a game that already came out though. That'd be
he was
great.
talking about Hey Pikmin. Oh
I
no,
think,
no, he wasn't talking.
but I'm just
I don't
glad
know.
that I'm guessing those names are irrelevant now. I don't
Yeah, they
watch
don't.
videos where
They
people
pretty
talk
much
about
Well,
that
they
stuff.
got their heads jumped on a lot,
Yeah,
and they
they
just
pretty
said,
much
"Fuck
stepped
this,
away
I'm
from
out.
Maybe their source
I don't
dried
want
up.
to do this anymore."
Maybe it was like somebody got caught and they said, or they don't work for Nintendo anymore. But yeah, it's just
But man, they definitely played the podcast circuit when they came out with this information. They was on everybody's podcast. Everybody's trying to get them on the podcast. It was kind
But
of
it is
funny.
funny, yeah. 'Cause it's just like I do think though that this Star Fox and Ocarina stuff is like has hit way more pockets of the internet than these other ones. So if
Yeah.
he's wrong, I think he's gonna get the biggest repercussion from people if because like I've been seeing like these big like multi-million dollar multi-million follower like gaming outlets that do some stupid shit. We'll talk about according to this rumor, Nate, they got a Star Fox game in production, Ocarina of Time remake, and I'm like, damn, a lot of people actually know about this now. I'm like, if he's wrong, a lot of people are gonna be mad.
Yep.
So I'm very curious. Obviously, I do hope he's right because it'd be cool to have a Star Fox game this year. That'd be awesome. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I mean, I want him to be right, so that's why a lot of people got excited because a lot of people want him to be right about this. A lot of people want fucking Star Fox to come back.
Did they announce
and wrong? I truly believe because Fox is in the movie, they're gonna make a Star Fox game at some point this generation, even if he's wrong. Like I think whether it be like GX where it's like the last year, like there's gonna.
Well, I mean, if you watch fucking Mario Galaxy, Star Fox is like it's kind of weird. Just throw him in there. He doesn't really advance the story that much. They could have done something else. Could have had a different character that was more relevant to Mario than shoehorning Star Fox in there and just him.
As a pilot, I still think he was the best pick to pick out of everything. Like,
but the thing is that leads to that comes from something. The fact that Star Fox. I think was it the original game that talked about him being like swallowed into a black hole and was it in? I feel like it was in a game or like a game instruction booklet or something as backstory that actually happened to Star Fox.
Did that happen to them in Starlink? Isn't that how they got part of that universe, or is that?
I don't remember actually.
I think they did get
crazy
sucked into that
because. That's crazy that I don't remember that as much as I played that damn game.
That sounds kind of right for Starlink, though, at least for that part.
So, some people think
that doesn't make sense because Star Wolf was also in the game. So I don't think that's the case.
Some people think that the Galaxy movie was going for Star Wars vibe, and that he was like the Han Solo, and maybe they were just like, maybe they're trying to. Some Star Wars stuff in it since it's in space, and they're like, well, who can play like a what do you call a scoundrel of a pilot?
You can definitely explain it away for sure.
So that could have.
But for me, it just seems a little bit because of Nintendo's involvement in these movies. That just seems a little bit off for me. I feel like I mean, they're making these movies for a reason. They're making these movies because they want to, spread their franchises beyond what they
sure. And if you look at the production, it's just Miyamoto and the head of Illumination. That's the production team or house or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, but did you see the interview where Miyamoto said that he had to talk to the people at Nintendo, say, give them the idea that they want to use Star Fox, and he's like, you think this would be good, and then they're like he thought that they would not like it, but then everyone was on board. They thought it was a great idea. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, you're Miyamoto. If you're approaching them and saying, they want to use it, do you think it's a good idea? They're going to tell you, I mean, it's technically your character. You made it. If you want it, that sounds good to you. I mean, that's cool to me.
And Illumination can ask all they want.
Who's going to stop?
If Nintendo don't want that shit to happen, that shit ain't going to happen. It's
funny that Miyamoto had to go to Nintendo and somehow ask, "Hey, do you think this would be good?" Of course, you think it's a good idea. Go ahead. You made the character. You made this movie. Go ahead if you want to use.
But that just shows you how humble Miyamoto still is.
Yeah,
it's just insane.
Speaking of the movie, I kind of fell out with the pitch meeting because it is everyone's like the same. Like he doesn't. Not a lot of variety in the pitch meetings. He did the Super Mario Galaxy one, and the main joke was just references. It pissed me off. It's not a reference. If they take something from the Mario universe and put it in the movie, it's not a reference for the sake of a reference. It's like we got to put people and like in this space hub or whatever. Or are they gonna just make up new characters, or are they gonna fucking pull Mario character? Like it just makes me mad.
Star Fox is like the only reference, and it's like a reference. It's
Rob technically is a reference, not Mario.
Well, like a cameo, but it just like again like Fox at least had stuff to do with the plot. Like it had nothing to do with like
Yeah,
it's not like
it's not just a wink
not like
wink
hey
Easter
I'm
egg
Pop and then
cameo.
walk
Yeah.
out.
So
You
it
know,
just annoys me. It's like that's what you got, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't have an. It's just a bunch of scenes put together. Every movie's just a bunch of scenes. I get that. I made that complaint before because sometimes scenes put together doesn't flow very well. It doesn't feel like a movie. But I gotta watch the movie again. I didn't feel that at all.
I didn't feel that shit at all. Like I don't
I
know
enjoyed it more the
people talking
second time,
about.
and
I'm glad I didn't hear that beforehand and was going in looking for
Even
that shit.
Jeremy
I might have been looking
Johns.
for.
Jeremy Johns, he's not. But him and I, a lot of times I agree. Like I'd say 80% of his reviews. After I see the movie, I'll go back watch his review again. I'm like, yeah, right on. He was right on. But then there's the times where it's just like, I really think he's too cool to like to go see a Mario movie and like it, by himself or something. I think somewhere in his mind it's too cool to think a Mario movie is a good movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely off. I watch most of his reviews, so I'm not a hater of his or anything. But he was just like, oh, it just feels like a bunch of random scenes just put together. I'm like, they're not just random. Like,
yeah, and I don't like. I genuinely really don't
like
feel that.
people
way.
talk.
Anybody
I would
who says
say
that shit.
the
I
baby
love
Mario
debating.
sequence on that planet.
It's the
Okay,
only, that's the only
that feels a
scene that
little
technically
bit.
doesn't progress the plot or whatever.
Yeah, that feels a little bit of a okay. That's we get a little sidetracked, but it was still entertaining.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Was it still entertaining? Like if they do that shit and it's not entertaining, it's like here's a reference, then you can say that. But if the sequence, I think, made it funny. I thought it was funny. I mean,
you got to have your
sequence.
characters. You got to things got to be happening to your characters during your movie.
Yeah, you got to have shit happening.
Why are we acting like there's never been movie scenes where have nothing to do with progress in the plot, but just humorous moments, enjoyable? Like that's in every movie ever, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like it's so strange to me that's like, oh,
that's a weird critique.
I'm like, huh?
I said, my example of fast paced, never stops to take a breath. That's not a complaint because I said Gravity and Max Fury Road, two like 90 plus rated movies, both fit that criteria.
Shit never took a break.
So that's not a that's. I mean, in a Michael Bay movie, you're like, oh man, Transformers is just 2.5 hours. It's just nonstop. It's because it's a bad movie with terrible characters and nonsense.
Right.
Like, it's not, the negative isn't that it's just nonstop things happening because that can be an awesome thing in the right movie, So that's not a critique on its own. You have to just not like the things.
That's why I say it's lazy. I think that's just lazy.
But so it's what, almost 900 million. It's probably definitely going to hit a million.
It's 900 almost, yeah.
So it definitely crossed. It'll probably.
It's going to get right there. If it doesn't cross it, it's going to be close.
Yeah, it'll be right there. Yeah.
It had a lot more competition than it did in 2023. Like every movie's banging right now.
Yeah, movies are doing better.
Really
did they announce a streaming date or anything?
Happy for?
They actually did, and then they delayed it by like a week because I think they probably wanted
just a week.
When is it?
I think it was by a week or something. I think it's like May 15th.
What?
That early? They're stupid. They're stupid.
Well, it was supposed to come out like today or something.
Put that shit fucking June or July. What the fuck are you doing?
Leave that shit alone.
I'm so
it's
sick
gonna
of this.
Keep doing well. Stop with these short ass. When you're killing yourself.
Peacock's like, we gotta have this movie.
Blah blah blah.
We gotta have this movie.
You're the reason.
NBC and Peacock are like, we gotta have this movie. We gotta have it. We gotta get our subscriptions.
We gotta have content. We need content.
Yeah, it's May 19th. May 19th.
You know what? Avatar Fire and Ash comes out on May 19th on Blu-ray and 4K.
Which one?
Avatar Fire and Ash.
Oh,
I'm getting the 3D version, but
yeah, I enjoy that.
I'm tempted to get the 4K Steelbook to go along to not even open it, but I'm not paying $100 for that movie. But yeah, just thinking of the story. It's Bob. It doesn't have a story. It's like, I mean, it's not every movie has to be like Wall-E or Inside Out. Like, not every animated movie has to be tug at your heartstrings, deep meaning stuff. I'm fine when they are.
You're talking about 10 minutes of the movie. By the way, I love Wall-E and I love Up, but you're talking about
the opening of sad, but
of the movie.
After that, it's just kind of, it's a silly
It's a silly. Look at the silly bird. Look at the dog talking movie. That's what it became. So,
this made me think of that because I heard a lot of people with the Galaxy movie. It's a kids movie. It's fine. Take your family. It's a kids movie. And I heard it's May the 4th. And I don't know when this clip was from. Freddie Prinze Jr., even though like this guy's not relevant anymore, but he must have voice acted something. He does a
lot of voice acting in Star Wars.
Yeah, he does a lot of voice acting in Star Wars. He's defending the Disney sequels with the age-old argument of these movies are just made for kids. Quit complaining, you adults. They're made for kids. Shut the fuck up. They're not made for kids. The subject matter of those 3 movies is not made for kids.
George Lucas said they're made for kids, man.
You know,
he said that when they started.
Yeah,
when they started like
made for kids, but then it's all about like political stuff.
Right. Well, he said that. I'm being sarcastic here, but he said that when people started critiquing the prequels. Yeah. That's when he said, "Oh, they're just made for kids. Shut up, stop crying." Like, basically.
Oh, you grew up on.
I saw the original Star Wars trilogy. It wasn't kid shit. I mean,
kids loved it.
Kids could like it.
Yeah, but I fell asleep.
There was a lot of grown ass people in them lines. I remember.
And I fell asleep when I was a kid watching those movies. All 3 of them. I fell asleep. I couldn't stay awake watching those boring movies when I was a kid.
Especially the first one. Star Wars. It took me a while to become a fan of the original Star Wars.
Even we went to the theater. I was young. I was probably like 8 years old.
That opening on with the droids and Tatooine. That shit took forever to me when I was a kid. I was like, this is just boring.
It just angers me. It's just like, okay, you work for Disney or you get paid doing Star Wars stuff, whether it's Disney or indirectly or directly. Just can't you come up with something? Just don't even talk about it then. Say, hey, we can't please everybody, you know?
You don't have to address every fucking thing. That's what I can't stand about today is like, you think, I don't know, because of social media and you have to keep talking about things and have content.
And he said it, so like.
You don't have to address everything.
Like it was just like. Go. Discussion over. They're made for kids. Quit, you adults. Quit complaining. They're made for kids. They're kids movies. No, they're not.
You know what happens when you just defend all this shit? It keeps staying. That story keeps If you didn't say shit, the shit would be over in a couple weeks tops.
Even John Boyega
defending it.
John Boyega was pretty vocal about some of the bad decisions, but he's come back to defending it now. I don't know to what end, but
because he wants to get back, because he hasn't. Let's just be honest. I love you, John Boy, but you haven't done that much since Star Wars, and you want to get back into the good graces and hopefully get yourself another movie to or 2. So that's.
I mean, they did them dirty. I don't
take anything from you. I would do the same thing probably. So I'm not.
He had a right to be mad though. Like completely screwed over his character.
Of course.
The whole side story.
You know who he should be mad at though? He should be mad at fucking
Rian Johnson and then JJ.
Rian Johnson. Yeah, Rian Johnson just came in and he did his thing. But you should be mad at. I guess you could be mad at their decision. I don't think that was their decision though, was it? To have different directors do.
Initially, that was from the beginning. They were gonna have.
I thought they wanted what the fuck is his name? The first one and the third one, huh?
JJ
Abrams.
No, it was JJ Abrams.
Oh yeah, JJ. Yeah, JJ.
Rian Johnson was signed on like before they barely were filming the first one.
They had all 3 directors like really early on.
They had to pull teeth to get JJ to do it. They always wanted him, but he didn't want to do it, and they talked him into doing it.
The third one,
and the first one.
Oh really?
He didn't want to do it. They talked him into doing it, and his stipulation was that I'm only doing one, and so that's why they came up with that bullshit of throwing in different directors and stuff, which never made sense.
They still should have had the overarching story, and not every movie's ever.
Yeah.
Good trilogies have been.
That was never going to work. Not having an overarching story and having multiple directors. That was a stupid.
And a director who basically just almost seemed to spite the audience, Ryan Johnson. Like he's a good director. He's a good writer. It just feels
He's a
like
director
I
when
feel like
wants
he
to
just didn't like he doesn't like the core Star Wars fan base or something, and he just wanted to give him the middle finger. I don't know. Maybe that's
Yeah.
completely.
Again, that I disagree with personally. Obviously,
Well,
Well,
some
he
of his
said it
comments
himself. You
came
can say
across
that,
that way.
but this is what. Yeah, that's
no, well,
literally
to
from his
me, it
own
was just
mouth.
like again, it's like doing a different take on these characters, or like or how he viewed would have been a more evolved take on these characters.
We ain't gonna
But
get into no debate about
No,
it.
but I mean,
yeah,
just the things he said.
I get it. It's not that you guys like, but that's why I fucking love it. But I mean,
I saw something recently. Like, you have a slow speed chase, and with all this hyperdrive, all this light speed bullshit, and you got a slow speed.
I mean, a lot of the logic is
Missiles
illogical.
can't reach. You can't shoot far enough in this universe. Whatever.
Wait,
I
fuel? We got fuel in Star Wars movies? When did that happen? What the fuck?
Either way, I just thought I was thinking about Mario complaints, and then I just saw that this morning. Like, oh, it's just kids movies.
Yeah.
Quit complaining. You can't.
Yeah, that's
Kids movies can't be
number one
good.
excuse.
Kids movies can't
right.
actually
There's a
have
lot of kids movies that
coherent.
were fucking great, and don't like talk down to the audience that are like really good movies that kids love that don't like like I said.
Well, when
pander to them or talk down to them.
When somebody says a kids movie,
nonsense.
I think of like a real dumbed down movie just for kids. I don't think of all ages or for all ages.
Now name one.
Good movie.
Name one that's just a dumbass
Well,
movies thrown in the theaters.
I'm
for
talking.
kids.
Yeah, I don't know about. I don't know if I was thinking theatrical kids movies.
No, I'm not. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that's a bullshit excuse because I can't think of like just garbage ass,
I was like
stupid ass movie for kids.
I would say like
Normal to
Spy
North.
Kids seemed
I
like
never saw it.
Spy Kids was like silly. I don't know how much was intended for adults, and that's not an animated movie, but that felt like if you got to be a kid to like get into that. But
or definitely Rock Boy. What is it? Lava Girl and
that's
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
I love
that
that
was
as a kid.
Spy Kids has a little bit
I love
more.
that as a kid,
I would say backbone to it, but Shark Boy.
but back in the day,
Boy and Lava Girl.
Here's a quick story.
Was straight up
I
kid
saw
shit.
Spy Kids 3D in theaters when I was a kid, and I didn't want to wear the 3D glasses, so I saw the whole movie and it was
What the
blue
fuck?
and red. It wasn't like good.
That was
3D,
the
it
old
blue and red.
3D.
Yeah, it was the old school
I'm
3.
just
Yeah.
watching this the whole time as a kid. I probably was like 4 years old, just 5 years old, just watching this
Yeah.
whole movie.
Did you wear glasses then?
No. Oh no. no.
That's why you got glasses on now, because you fucked your eyes up.
I was like, I watched it. I'm like, and my mom was like, you got it. That's how you get to see it. And I'm like, I don't want to wear that though. And I didn't wear it.
have
You
you
rigged your
seen a
eyes.
real 3D movie?
What happened?
Have you ever seen a real 3D movie?
When
Like
the
with
fuck?
good 3D?
Yeah, avatars, man.
Okay. Well, I didn't. I mean, I don't know if you.
Those are the ones that I've seen that have impressed me. I've
Did
seen
you?
some other ones that I saw Force Awakens in 3D at one time.
God, the
Saw Jurassic
3D
World in
Blu-ray for
3D.
Force Awakens is people were raving about the depth and the pop out, like the lightsaber battles. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw a review. I was like, holy shit!
I've seen what else in
We'll have
3D.
to buy that
I know
now.
I've seen a few movies in 3D that I don't really care to watch a lot of movies in 3D just because I feel like I don't know. I feel like also dim
Paw
the
Patrol.
light.
There you go, Paw Patrol. That's some
Paw
kids
Patrol,
garbage.
there you go.
Yeah,
that makes
but
it,
even
Paw
like
Patrol.
the old
That
G
caters
rated,
to little ass kids. Yes,
the
That's
old
a Nick
like
Jr. show, man.
right.
like as far as like the old Disney G rated movies, those are some dark stuff. Like somebody always died. Like some serious stuff was
Yeah.
always happening.
As kids who grew up in the '80s, Juice. Kids movies to us were like fucking dark ass.
Land Before
fantasies.
Time.
Labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Land Before Time is
fucking,
awesome.
Somebody
Uh,
dies. Like some heart like wrenching thing happened in those movies. back
Never
in
ending
the day.
story. That shit was fucking dark as
Yeah.
hell at the end, especially.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know
So-
what they did, and what they got away with in rated G back then is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, even it was funny. They just rated Toy Story 5, and it's PG. And it's the first one that's not G. And I just think it's tough to get a G rating nowadays. Like like for some reason they make it super hard to get a G rating, which I rarely see in theaters a G rating. So I don't
I
know
was
what the hell you got to
surprised,
do to get a G now.
The scrutiny
what did
is
Mario?
way higher.
What did Mario? Was that PG? Yeah.
PG, yeah.
I feel like there
Ain't
was
gonna
a
be PG-13.
I
would
feel
you?
like there was a G-rated movie recently that I was like, wow, that was G. But maybe it was just one I was ripping because I have a whole spreadsheet and I put the rating on there just
I
because.
legit like I haven't seen a movie in I feel like years that said
Let me
G.
look.
Like it's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I I even if I haven't watched a movie, like it just I always pass by and see. I don't even think that Paw Patrol movie was G. Let's see.
Let me.
Let me see if that Paw Patrol movie was Paw Patrol the mighty movie. PG. What the fuck? Is there any is the existence of
Paw
G movies?
Patrol is
No.
PG.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how many
They
G-rated
say
movies do you
there's
think I
ass.
own? I'm about to
There's
count.
ass in it. And so imagine. It's funny because you can actually get away with a lot more in PG than people think, but
Mm-hmm.
the only people that take advantage of it I've seen is like Japanese anime movies. Like you could say like shit in PG and it's fine, and but
Mm-hmm.
they never in America they're like, whoa, we gotta super sanitize stuff, and you could actually get away with stuff in
You
with
can't
PG.
curse, but you can blow somebody's fucking head
So
off. And...
Yeah.
Don't
But that's
curse
what's funny. It's
while
like you
doing it.
can curse, but they just don't. I don't know. It's like you literally could say, I again like the movie Your Name, love that damn movie is PG, and they say a few curse words. I was like, I didn't know you can even say that in PG, but you can.
So I need to check this because I just looked at I got 7 movies rated G in my collection. And one of them is 2001: A Space Odyssey. So I don't know if I did a typo when I did that, or
Let me see. Let me look.
I
Up.
could be. It could be I just typed because
It is.
2001. What?
A Space Odyssey.
How?
How's that possible?
I think it's because I just wanted
Because it was
everyone to watch it.
It was a lot more lax than
G.
I remember watching that
G?
and like being forced to watch that in like middle school. I'm like, what the hell is this movie?
Maybe they didn't have. Did they not have like?
I mean, that to me, that's PG-13. But
this says, let's see. This says that I guess the modern MPAA rating system wasn't fully implemented yet, and so essentially anything that didn't have, violence, nudity, or like language, it just was automatically G.
So the other ones are Beauty and the Beast, Finding Nemo, Kiki's Delivery Service, The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, and Rio. And it's like, I mean, The Lion King felt more PG to me than G, but
well, that would get technically The Lion King 2019 is PG. That's the same movie.
But some of the PGs are what?
No, but it looks too realistic. See, that was cartoon violence. Now it looks realistic, so you can't go.
Now I'm trying to look up.
I love that people call it the live action one.
Top Gun, the first Top Gun is PG. All the Star Treks are PG, I think, except for one or two.
Top Gun?
Yeah.
Is PG? The fuck? Hey, there's not a lot that I can at least
Raiders of the Lost Ark's PG.
I mean, there's a bone scene. There's some boning going on.
Paddington.
Kelly McGillis.
Oh, Paddington 1 is G?
PG. National Treasures are PG. Lego movies are Kung Fu Pandas.
First thing I think about when I think about that movie.
It's also I've noticed it's tougher. I've noticed that it's tougher for live action movies to get PG nowadays. Like, just for some reason, it's such a weird. Here's another thing.
Yeah, it's because it's live action.
It's ridiculous because I saw there was who was it? Ah, shit. Who am I thinking? They were talking about like the highest grossing like adventure movie, in a while or whatever, and I'm like they completely skip over Mario Galaxy movie, and because. Mario Galaxy, it's a family movie.
It's a series of scenes.
How is that a genre? How is family a genre?
It's not. How does it's bullshit.
If it was a live action Mario movie, it'd be considered an adventure movie. That's bullshit because it's animated. Animation is not even a genre. Like it's so annoying because I was seeing that, and that's just how they track it. It's like, oh, the highest grossing adventure movie since blah blah blah, and then I'm like, you skipped over the Mario Galaxy movie is absolutely adventure. Like that is pure adventure movie. And
it's an adventure film, yes.
But what is it considered? Family and animation. How is that even two? How is that even, bro? That's an adventure
Two
movie.
things that are not genres. What the fuck?
Come on, man. It's
Animation
so
is a
stupid.
style of
It's a style of
visual
like, bro,
of
come
the
on, man.
visual, and then
It's not like you call every
family is
live
not a
action movie
goddamn
live
genre.
action. Live action. Imagine if everything was just live action. Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
that's like calling it live action.
It's stupid. It's
Yeah,
like the
it's
highest
stupid.
grossing live action movie since last week. So it's like it'd be so dumb. And it's
Since
just like,
last week.
and to me it's like I found that such a shame, and it's literally like, why are animated movies not considered any other genre but family or animated? And I'm like, that doesn't even seem like a
Because
genre. Imagine saying, hey,
we in the
recommend a movie like, okay, Your Name is a romantic movie, a romantic drama essentially, and then I tell them you should watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. They're not even comparable because they're in two different genres, but if you look them up, they're just animated. That's just the genre, animated. Like, but that's not even this. That's not a genre. You didn't
yeah,
describe
because at least in this country, I don't want to say the West, but at least in this country, we are too overly macho, and like you can't have that type of. Because I remember me and my friend at the time going to two straight dudes, two hetero dudes going to see Cars in the theaters and shit like that.
Mhm.
And I'm sure people thought we were a gay couple or something. I guarantee, because that's just you can't go watch a cartoon movie, like that's
I don't
that's
remember
gay,
the movie, but I know
that's-
that I felt that multiple times going to see movies with a buddy.
yeah, and you feel it, and it's like, this is stupid. Why are we like this?
I guess
You
if it
know,
was a
like,
romantic comedy, I mean, maybe.
At least on
Oh
on,
God, two dudes going to watch a rom com? Oh, that's gay. So
on,
yeah,
on
that's how people would feel.
I guess because everyone could on Wikipedia they do have American animated adventure comedy film for Mario Galaxy. That's good at least. But like it's so strange
Yeah.
that like I was looking at like box office like like Deadline, these people that talk about box office and they completely skip over animated movies because they just view them as family. Like what the fuck
Yeah.
is family? How is that even what does that even mean?
It's
Best
a
family
Nintendo
game.
video game problem. Yeah, it's the Nintendo video game problem. That's what it is.
It's ridiculous.
So I'm
It's
just looking
ridiculous.
at some more of these PG movies. Where is it? Half-Blood Prince is PG. I thought that was the start of the PG-13, but I guess it was Deathly Hallows. Like, how is Half-Blood Prince a PG film?
No,
Like,
they
Wow.
there was it was no they went to no no they went to I think the first four were like PG, then PG-13, and then PG again, and then PG-13, PG-13, PG-13.
oh
Like
yeah,
it was
Prisoner. Order of Phoenix is PG-13. So then Half-Blood
yeah
went back to PG. It's like, really?
yeah, which is interesting. Again, I don't know
I
how.
mean,
I bet you if that same
that's a
movie
pretty
came out
dark
this
movie.
year, it would be PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is dark.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like literally, if that movie was released today, it'd be PG-13. But it's
I
strange
think that's
'cause,
one of
yeah,
my
it's like,
favorite things about the Harry Potter movies. They felt like throwbacks to like 80s kids movies.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They definitely got a little more dark and serious later, but
yeah.
it'd be like somebody argued, "Oh, Harry Potter, you can't nitpick. That's a kids movie." Yeah, they started out as kids books, but they didn't end as kids books.
Mhm.
By the time the last
Yeah.
book came out, everyone was adult that started reading
Yeah,
the books.
my friend, my friend famously, was in line for the books, and he's like fucking 6'4", 260, a big dude pushing little kids out of the way for the Harry Potter books and shit. I was like, this is not for kids anymore, bro. A lot of
Mhm.
people.
I'm not
grew
saying
up
that
with
kids can't still enjoy something and it's just a stupid
of course.
concept. Like, just looking at that list of some of my favorite movies are PG or animated, and it's like, there's a guy in the home theater. He's one of the bigger home theater channels, 100,000 plus subscribers. He's got all high end gear, but it's like people are like, did you review like or Into the Spider-Verse? Like that movie's got great picture and sound. And he's like, oh, I don't watch cartoons. Later on, he reviewed it because obviously, probably just enough people told him that he needed to because it's one of the best sounding movies out there. And I don't watch cartoons. Like, shut the fuck up, man. You don't watch. It's not a cartoon. Like that's just. I mean, we had who was Muhammad or whatever years ago said he wouldn't be caught dead playing a Mario game by himself. Like,
Crazy.
Yeah, but he was in here caping for what's that fucking
yeah,
kinky winky ass
Kiln.
What was like, yeah, Kiln. What the fuck? What? If Mario had an art style as like Kiln, I'd jump out a window. Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
I would say
come on,
Artisans.
bro.
I wasn't huge on the first Mario movie, and I really enjoyed the Galaxy movie. So I wouldn't just go.
Yeah, same.
I was expecting it to kind of be the same based on what people were saying, but maybe, I was just in the right mood. I don't know. I watched it in 3D. I love 3D. I think it enhances almost every movie as long as the 3D is utilized. Like, it just pulls me into the movie. Like, I watched Thor Ragnarok twice in like less than 2 months because I got the 3D version, and the 3D on that movie is as good as Avatar's. It's amazing. It's so fucking good, and it was a post conversion. Like, when Hela catches the hammer, I mean, that shit's just like, it's so good. But every scene is amazing in that movie. And I got my Robert chair now, so I'm sitting like 7 foot 10, 11 inches from my 120 with 3D. It's so good. I watched Avatar Saturday, and I'm just like, man, I wish I'd done that sooner. Because for 3D, they call it the miniature effect. It does make things look small. I don't know what the science is behind the optics, but
That's what he said.
but yeah, there's some times where they just look like it looks like a miniature set of like small people, but the closer you are to the screen, just the better it is. And so yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, this is amazing. So I watched Avatar, Thor, and then Tron Legacy. Well, actually, I didn't have the chair for Tron Legacy. I watched that the night before, and I rewatched the final act closer, and it does completely improve the immersion and stuff. So a little sidetracked, but yeah, and actually I watched a little bit of a regular 2D movie sitting in the chair, and I'm like, God damn it,
Yeah.
this is good.
It's good, man. It's good. Sit closer.
if they put out like F1, like
It's because you're getting old and you're blind. You can't see.
Nah, my vision,
my
vision gets worse close up than it does farther away. But like if they released F1, like reinstated the IMAX shots, I would rebuy the movie, and I'd watch that sitting close for sure. But anyway, back to what else is there gaming? Oh, Saros came out. I picked it up. I installed it, but I haven't played it because I'm trying to get through Dark Souls 3.
Oh.
And it's just
playing these old ass games.
The game never ends. It's huge. Like, this game isn't Elden Ring size, but you could see how they made the jump from Dark Souls 3 to Elden Ring, because this game is just massive. Like, I shared some screenshots going across the bridge. There's like all this gothic church like architecture, and I'm like, all right, this in like a winter setting, like snow at night, and I'm going down the streets getting my ass kicked until I figured out the enemies, and then I get through there, and I was like, all right, go this way, and I was like, oh, now I'm down like the river. I'm going across the river, go down a tunnel. All of a sudden, there's stairs, and there's a whole underground area that's bigger than the above ground area that I spent hours. I'm like, holy shit. Then I finally come back up the other side, and I was like, damn, that's just one area, like out of like 6 or 7. And I'm loving it. So I don't want to stop. I feel like if I start Saros, I don't want to like start it and then like do what Robert used to do, play the first couple hours, and then like 2 months later come back to the game. So I was like, I'm just gonna try to get through Dark Souls 3 first, and then and I stuck to my guns. Now I will admit, I'm doing a no lookup blind playthrough, but there is a channel of a girl who's playing through it now at the same time. So
is she cute?
She's pretty cute, but she's really good. She's like really good at the game. Like makes me feel like, God, why do I die there? But so she was playing through it. I was like, all right, I'm not to this area yet, so I stopped watching. I played 3-4 hours more of the game, and I come back, and she's well, for one, I saw a ladder that I didn't see in my playthrough. She didn't see it either. So, all right, well, I got to go back to that area because I missed that ladder. So technically, I saw something I didn't genuinely see on my playthrough. But I figured that's kind of, the games are meant to be played online with all the ghosts running around and people giving hints, and I'm playing offline, so I'm missing all that. But I've done like, there was like that underground area. I saw your items are just like glowing orbs, and I'm like, how the hell do I get there? Like all these doors are locked. Finally, I thought about it. It's like, man, I'm about an hour of just running around. I haven't found anything. I'll just look to see what the key was. I was like, nah, just push ahead. I'll just push ahead. And I pushed ahead, got to a tough enemy. I was like, no, let me go back to the previous bonfire. I'm leveled up again, and I'm a little stronger. Let me just rinse that area. And I found it looked like a window, but it was actually a door to use a key that let me go down. That gave me another item that led me to be able to get another item that finally found the key so I could go back and open all the doors and stuff. So I found everything without looking anything up, and it was very rewarding just to because I almost gave in. I was like, why? I'm at this point, 35 hours in, I haven't looked anything up. Why would I just start now? And I'm glad I didn't, because it's just, a lot of people do the playthroughs of completely blind. And, you're going to make mistakes. These games are made to be played multiple times. So it's like seeing somebody's first playthrough of Dark Souls, and he attacked NPCs that sell crucial items. And once you attack them, they won't sell you the item. They'll attack you every time you get near them. And so the two people he needed to get this item to cure a curse, he had attacked accidentally one of them, the other intentionally, and he couldn't purchase the item he needed. So he had to play the whole game with half a health because he didn't have the item to cure a curse. And the only two places to buy it.
What?
He had hit the NPCs. And,
that don't sound like a positive to me personally, but that sounds like a little bullshit.
That sounds like you shouldn't attack NPCs. I mean, there's a penalty to your actions in the games. And again, the games.
But I can still disagree with that game design if it's something like that.
Are we gonna do this again?
Yeah, the games aren't designed for a single playthrough.
Game design is still.
No, I'm saying they're not designed for a single playthrough. They don't design them for a single playthrough. That's not their intention. That they don't.
But that guy could have done that shit the second playthrough, the third playthrough, 15, 20. That don't mean anything.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn after the first.
Why would you learn about that?
We are not about to debate another.
Because he didn't know that attacking NPCs. Because he didn't know that if you attack an NPC, that they'd never be able to. How do you
find out? By looking it up.
He found out that item was behind those two that he attacked, but he learned not to attack NPCs.
By looking it up.
I think his friends told him, but. He learned
so not in game.
After those two, he stopped attacking the NPCs. So he learned that on his own. But
no, not that. No, see now you move into Gobos. He did not learn that specific thing. That sounds very integral in game, which means he had to look something up.
Well, he didn't look it up. He played the game till the end, and then they told him.
I know, but you're saying you will learn more as in a second playthrough and stuff. But how would you know that thing? It doesn't sound like you will.
You would.
Continue.
You would know not to attack NPCs. He learned that already.
Why would you know that? Like, there's nothing in the game. Why would you know not to?
Because he already learned it while he was playing the game. He learned it as he played the game.
From somebody else outside of the game. What's that got to do with in the game? Do you get what I'm saying?
He learned that's where that item he needed was outside the game, but he learned to stop attacking the NPCs.
Well, that's a big thing. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Like if you're learning that outside of the game, that's completely different from like learning that.
But he would have learned it on the second playthrough if his friends didn't tell him after he was done.
How though? Like I don't understand.
Because he would have went to the NPC and saw they sold him stuff, and then he would have sold the item.
Yeah, but what if he was still attacking NPCs?
You're doing a lot of assuming there.
He already stopped attacking. He already stopped after the first two. He stopped. He didn't attack another one. He already learned that.
Okay, but why would? But what in the game tells you like, hey, don't why? This is your repercussion for attacking an NPC. Like what in the game is what I'm saying. Or did he live stream it or you watched someone? This is a recording.
No, he recorded it. He played the game and then he uploaded. No, he wasn't streaming it. He played the game and then recorded all his footage like you do, back to the backlog, and then he made a 40-minute video talking about his experience.
And there are times where I will learn about the game from the comments. So what does
It
that have to
was
do with
no the video was put out after he'd played the game. He was done. He played the
I
game
know that,
start
but
to
you're
finish.
saying like he's gonna learn. Like that sounds like to me that sounds like a pretty fucking big thing to not know that hey, you do this, you might be fucked throughout your entire rest of the playthrough.
No, well, I should have said that there is a way to cure the curse later on in the game, but he wasn't able to get to that point. Obviously, he had to progress in the game. He could have just like I did.
Also, you still can do.
You
something
can cure
later
the
on.
curse. Talk to talk to a guy. He cures the curse, and then
Okay.
But like the specific item, his buddies just told him after the game, after he was done, like, yeah, those two NPCs you attacked, those guys sell
But
you
you
the thing
can
to
cure
the
this fucked up curse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean it's not turning
Okay.
on, it's not on forever, but he had to
God
get
damn, you're making me sound like it's
he
the
had to
end of
keep playing the
you said-
game with half health until he got to that part of a guy, a priest who's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it
you have a
sounds like
curse,
the
I
whole
can
damn
cure your
game. I was
curse.
like, yo, that's a horrible game design to me. I'm thinking, like,
But
that's
he
fucked
had to
up.
play some of the toughest bosses in the game
I'm
with
sure a
half
lot.
health.
Yeah, it sounds like it's probably
But
a lot.
again,
though.
I mean, it's everybody's playthrough's different. Like I did made that mistake in
For sure.
Bloodborne. I attacked a dude, and they're like, clocked it or somebody's like, oh, that guy's a really cool side quest, and I was like, well, it's too late. I attacked him. I didn't know.
Do they attack you first or no?
No, they're just standing there, and the first
And
one
you
he
just
was
kinda
picking up his
trigger-fingered?
controller and he hit the trigger, and then
Gotcha.
the second one, just saw a woman in a tunnel and just speared her, and then she ran away. So, but either way, I don't even remember where we got going on that one. But
I don't know, 'cause I was just
seeing
confused. I
people's
was like, wait,
seeing
what?
people's blind runs is very interesting because you see
Oh, I get you.
the things
yeah.
people miss, the mistakes they made, the strategies they get stuck on. Like he was like a heavy. He didn't know there was a weight limit. If you carry too many things, then your roll's really slow. It wasn't till like near the end of the game that he equipped lighter equipment, and he's like, "Holy shit, my dodge roll! I can dodge roll quicker now." Like, yeah, it's just stuff you figure out. So, I think it's interesting, and it makes it for an interesting video, personally. Anyway,
Know what else makes for an interesting video? Sony DRM, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
so
That's pretty.
I didn't confirm if it was a legit thing, but the last thing I saw said it's a one-time check-in after like a recent
Yeah,
update.
they confirm it's a one-time check-in, and then after that you have the permanent license apparently. But my thing is like the fact that that's even a thing now. Just man, that future of digital, man, we're fucked. We're fucked.
Nah, man, they brought Xbox down with this shit. I want the same energy, goddammit.
Well, I mean, with the extra thing, it was once
that was
a day,
physical games. That was an era before
Did it happen?
No,
they backed out
because they
but
all that shit.
it didn't happen, and they were still shitted on over it. So
well, they
this
wanted it to
happened.
happen.
Okay, but that's irrelevant. It didn't happen. This happened,
Yeah.
and it was, what was it? At first it was every 30 days,
Every 30 days.
and then they changed it to one. All right, it's all good now. Moving
Yeah,
on.
so-
Was it
Yeah.
always
Move along.
every 30 days? That what people
It
were
was
saying.
that was what it looked like because it kept doing
No,
like literally it was
Spawn
every-
Wave himself did an experiment,
Oh, that's
and yes,
right.
it
Yeah,
was,
yeah. That's right.
it happened. It locked him out of his game. So, and they were quiet. They didn't say anything about it for quite some time.
So it was just a
Until
stealth.
the backlash got too big
Yeah.
online, and they
Did
finally
they
did something about
stealthily
it. So wouldn't that be
implemented
the
it?
same as, oh, that's a bad idea, let's get rid of this? It
Apparently
seems
they
similar
still-
to me.
They want to do it.
Well,
And that's why
all I
to
seen
me-
was a bunch of videos of people bashing them for it. So I didn't see any.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot, and that's why.
Yeah.
But I think
Same.
once you did the one time, this is the thing. You give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile, sort of. Anything.
Well,
Yeah, like that. That ain't good enough for me. That shouldn't be good enough for anybody.
Where I know, man. That's in the future. Come on, they ain't gonna stop there. Let's be for real here. So it's
Yeah,
like
it's
at
over.
some point, it's gonna be 30 days, and then at one. I mean, this might be. generations
Ubisoft
down.
themselves came out and said, "We want to train you guys to not feel like you own anything."
Yeah, that
You know,
was
so-
yeah, they literally said that. Yeah. That
And
was
my
crazy.
question is there like some kind of pirating thing they're trying to thwart? Like, can you even play like pirated
Supposedly
games?
that people think
Yeah.
that they think it's you're able to something with a jailbroken
Yeah.
PS4 or something. But my thing, I'm like, this is PS5. I
Yeah,
don't know.
PC games do that shit too. De novo or whatever the fuck they do.
But
That de
they
novo, like
apparently
they
you can like take like the game file that starts with the game or whatever, and then you could refund the game, and then essentially you have like access to the game forever, sort of thing.
yeah.
But my thing is like, I don't know. I when I heard that, I'm like, man, that this is the beginning sort of thing. Like, to me, it was like, yeah, this is the beginning
Yeah.
sort of. I
Well,
don't think.
You actively got rid of one of the most secure ways to deliver games, which is physical.
mm-hmm.
It's one of the most secure ways to deliver games, and now you're doing this shit. Well, you created this fucking problem. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's
Like,
strange though is a recent game that came out. That Does It Play guy who just tells you what's on the disc, what isn't.
Yeah.
A recent game, he's like, I don't think it was Crimson Desert. He's like, you can.
the Crimson Desert is not on
He's like,
anybody's disc.
you can install. It was PS5. Like, I don't know if it was. I don't think it obviously wasn't exclusive. I don't think it was Saros. It definitely wasn't Saros. He's like, you can put the disc in, install the game, and play it without an internet connection. Like just like 2 weeks ago, before this was new, before the 30-day thing, the DRM. It's like, so that's a thing. Then why, like, those two don't really go together? Why is the PS5 able to do off disc without an internet connection? You can, as long as the game's on the disc, you could play it. Like, that's like that. Those two are opposites.
Of course, that's the thing. I think even day one patches are a form of DRM. I think that's why they do them. I feel like that's one reason they do that shit. Is to say, all right, well, it's physical, but you got to have this patch for this bitch to work. To me, that feels like DRM as well, and people have mostly accepted that shit. I think for the most part.
Well,
so you just slowly keep taking the shit away.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I've said for literally a long time, we've been talking where I'm like, I don't feel like most games are truly physical anyway. Like, even games that, yes, you could play off, but then once you have an update, it's like, all right, now you don't have the complete version. I don't know, like.
Well, whatever this game was,
they make sure you don't have the complete version.
So, whatever this most
like,
recent.
Like, yeah, but like, again, you're talking like, oh, well, but if I could still play the game anyway, I'm like, yes, technically, but I'm like, there was a reason for the update. Yeah. You don't want to play.
And then they eventually come along with the definitive version, or whatever they call the final version of the game, basically. So they make your ass double dip if you want that bitch completely on a disc. That's what you got to do. And it's just like they get all the money,
well,
and you get nothing.
Wasn't it Bayonetta 2 on Wii U never had an update? That's still the same. That's still the gold. Yeah, never once. Because I remember when I got the.
I'm sure there's probably a few Wii U games that may be like that.
Probably.
But I think that was.
Wario,
I think Star Fox Guard.
Game and Wario.
That has an update.
Yeah.
Game and Wario probably doesn't have an update.
Game and Wario, I doubt Game and Wario has an update.
I think though.
Star Fox Guard. Goddamn.
I think that was a side effect of the Xbox Smart Delivery though. They had either the one Xbox One version on the disc, and if you had the Series console, you had to basically download the Series version, or the vice versa. And I was like, yeah, that is. Same thing with PS4 games. Even if you get the free upgrade, it's like my Cyberpunk. It's still a shitty the shittiest version of the PS4,
the PS4
game is on that disc. Like basically an unplayable version of the game is on the disc without all the shit I just made the videos about, all the new ray tracing, the
Well, yeah, that's why it's like, do you truly look at that Cyberpunk disc? Do you really look at a Cyberpunk disc and say, I own this game physically? Like,
I never did.
But do you really look at it and be like, this version, you look up and you look at this and like, it's two completely different versions?
I never did, just because of it was the PS4 version. I waited till I got the PS5 to play it, so I was like, I'd never counted that as like I own. That's why I struggled to not buy the PS5 version of like Forbidden West. I waited till I could get it for $60. I was like, I don't want the PS4 version, even with the free upgrade. I want the PS5 version, but it's had a lot of patches.
Same here. I like to just to have the simple banner that says PS5 alone.
I said I want at least the PS5 game to be on the disc, but it's had a lot of patches, a lot of improvements since then. So it's like, yeah, you're right. That is not really a physical game anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so built on. Like it's like how can we really
But
look
you
at
can
it
say the
like
same about Breath of the Wild on Switch One. Like, yeah, it was
bro? I could say
fully
again.
playable.
I could say that about
It was fully
New Super
playable,
Mario Bros.
but
2.
it's
To me, I've said that I don't think personally I don't feel games have been truly physical since the Wii, other than Skyward Sword, and the original Xbox and PS2.
yeah,
Like truly, like genuine physical. You have everything on there. Like once you incorporate DLC, expansion, I want to play those. I want to play DLC in 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. And they that ain't on this. So it's like in the end of the day,
yeah.
like that ain't truly physical. That like to me, it's like it's not a complete product on there. And to me, um, a truly physical means there's no updates, there's no day one. Like what you on the card, that's the final genuine product.
That
And
almost doesn't happen.
I
Yeah.
think we've over time we've very slowly been like, well, this is truly physical, but it has an update. Well, I'll overlook that. Well, this has the
What
well
if
as
it's
a
a
DLC. I'll look over that. And it's not truly 100%. That is the day one product is on
what
there.
if it's just a
That's how I've
perfectly
always felt for the
playable version
longest.
of the game? But yeah, they did do some
Yeah.
improvements, but you still have a perfectly playable version of the game on the disc or cart.
Yeah, but not the
I'm
complete.
okay. I'm mostly okay with that.
See, I think
Uh,
that's a good place to start. You should at least start with like a good playable entire
But see
game
that
on the
that's
disc.
where we're sliding now.
Yeah.
We want a perfectly good playable version, not the true final
well, I mean,
complete. But
you know.
that's the difference. That's the difference between like the Wii era and the GameCube and
Well, I was gonna, yeah,
Xbox
of course. Ever
and
since the internet happened,
ever since the
But
internet.
there's
games are
some
gonna
of
get
those games
updated.
though that could have used a little
Right.
update.
There's
You
some
know.
games that are completely broken, and you
For
get
sure.
to a
I mean, yeah,
point
for sure.
like Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine on N64. That bitch is broken by the time you get to the Infernal Machine. Like, I wish that bitch had a patch. Like,
They might have
like
patched
I
that.
got I got stuck on that fucking level. I never beat the game because I got stuck in a wall and nothing happened. I fucking I reset the game, came back. I'm still stuck in the fucking wall in my save. So I'm like, I can't even do
Can you
anything with this
delete?
bitch.
Could you delete your
Huh?
save? That's another
Yeah,
thing. I
I
saw
could
that.
delete my save and start over,
I
but I'm
saw
fucked.
on Switch One or Switch Two, it's like nearly impossible to delete an update to go back to a previous version of the game or go back
Oh
to the
yeah.
base game. You have to like completely wipe your system and like
Oh really?
maybe even put it on a different profile. Someone said if you want to go back to like the launch day version on the cart of a game, they said they couldn't do it. They deleted it
Mm.
and it just wouldn't recognize it as the right game that they owned. Like it's a weird situation. Who wants to like oh, I want to play the original day one Breath of the Wild on Switch One,
Strange.
god damn it.
Why would you want that? Yeah.
And
Like,
it's
why would
like
you
but you
want that?
if you want to, it's a big hassle versus
Yeah,
I've
Lenny,
also viewed it.
that's great. That's a great point because that's how I feel. Digital games, I don't pay full price. Okay, let me take that back. I have maybe once or twice, but for the most part, your digital fucking. I'm talking about like big digital. I'm not talking about like indies
Yeah,
and shit.
like you
Obviously,
getting like like you
yeah, I'm
getting
talking
like
about like
discounts, $40,
the
half
big
price off and stuff.
70,
You
80
waiting for
dollar
those.
game.
You
Yeah, I
waiting for
don't
those
buy bitches
discounts.
at that. You know, it just doesn't happen. So if you don't want to give me a full game, I won't give you a full price, bitch. That's all there is to it. You can wait.
so here's an interesting because the guy at work, he's a PC guy. Anytime he hears something, a story about a console, especially Nintendo, he's always chirping. And I said, dude, how do you know your Steam games? I said, your PC is connected to the internet 100% of the time for the last 10, 15 years. How do you know Steam, if you like want to take a piece, like your laptop or something, on a cruise or on a vacation away from the internet? How do you know your Steam games would? There's nothing. Maybe there isn't, but it's like you don't know that your PC is always online. Maybe Steam has a similar thing where you have to
Yeah.
confirm your
It's
license.
not a Steam thing at all. I can vouch for it. I have a Steam Deck. I go on the fucking plane, and
Yeah.
if it's not a fucking Ubisoft game or something I have to check into,
But I'm saying like if it was
uh,
like a month, like if it was 30 days disconnected from the internet, like he's never gonna have that scenario. And I was like, does Steam? you're already online, so Steam already, if it does a check, it's just gonna do it anyway because you're always
Well,
online anyway.
I can easily do that. I can just fucking turn off my internet on my Steam Deck
But yeah, for
and see
30
what
days
happens.
and then see, yeah, like
Well, there's a
Yeah.
goal.
you
Yeah,
could
there's
look
the
it up
offline
probably.
mode. There's the offline on Steam, but I think that just what
Yeah,
you
you have
just said
offline
though,
mode for
that
Steam.
it's a game by game basis with all these
It's a
dudes,
game by game basis, right?
and
Yeah.
so like it also takes into account, and that just kind of shows maybe a slight disadvantage to like a Steam Deck where it's like Ubisoft games on Switch 2 will work without an internet, right? But some, yeah, you got to require an online, but because they're not really thinking about
Mm-hmm.
the handheld PCs. So
Yeah.
that could be a slight disadvantage when you think about that. But that's like again super specific, like case basis. But you know, it's But yeah, I mean something like that, like PCs, I feel like for ages have already like retired. They're like whatever, we don't give a shit. We don't even think about
They
it.
don't even want to buy. They
Um,
don't even want to mess with a physical
they
game.
don't even want a
They
disc,
don't.
man.
It's like a
funny 'cause think
negative to
talk
have a
about this
physical.
disc. This is a disc, right? It's an actual disc, and I don't know what the hell happened, but it's like a disc that turned digital because I put this in my PC like in 2017 or whatever when it first came out. You put the disc in, and I don't know what it did. I don't remember at that point, but I have it on Steam, so it's like it converted this physical to a digital. So it's not even like you're playing it off the disc. You're just like, oh, use this to access your code for your Steam. It's very strange.
You don't
Yeah.
even have to put the
convoluted
disc in anymore for those old PC
no,
games.
no, not at all. It's literally just a Steam game. Like it's just
Mm.
on Steam. It's under my game Steam.
Because I
Weird.
mean, you used to
Very
have to
strange.
put the disc in. At least that was how it verified your license.
That's
you
what
know?
I thought maybe you'd have to do. I was a little worried.
But
'Cause
yeah,
I
most
don't have a
PCs
disk
don't
drive
even
anymore.
have disk drives. So
Yeah, I don't have a disk drive, and all the Bethesda games when they shut down their Bethesda launcher, it just converted to Steam games. They just went, okay, you have your whole thing on Steam now.
it's yeah,
Very strange.
a PC is definitely a different beast because
Yeah,
everything's
But
digital. You're always
it's
connected.
got to be. It's getting closer to that with consoles, man. It's absolutely like with the Helix, gonna be pushed even further, like by way closer, and then the PS6 would be closer, and then eventually PS7 maybe like fully blown. But I think Helix is like damn near fully blown essentially at that point, like PC style. But at least you'll still be able to play your older consoles. But you know. It's a
Yeah,
little
I
weird.
mean, just a lot of shit, isn't really the future. It's more short term thinking. I feel like, just the way things are built these days. Like, why build something that's gonna last forever when people are okay buying a new phone every couple of years? Then that's more money in your pocket. Like what the old business model used to be: buy a car and do a lot of maintenance yourself, and they go for 200,000 miles. You keep them for 20 years, and now it's like their car ain't gonna last 20. No cars lasted 20 years, like nowadays. Like
Really?
My car right now is I've been 16 years old, so I would.
well, with all the electronics, like they already have.
Wait, I was gonna say. That bitch has no amenities.
No.
I fucking roll my window. I bought it. I bought it like that on purpose because I was like, I want this bitch to last. I don't want to be dealing with no bullshit computer shit.
Moving away from floppy disk was a mistake. Says Prince. Thanks for the $2. I don't think so. It's just they didn't hold shit. Like they only hold like megabytes. They had to.
Yeah. And then don't put a fucking magnet near that bitch. Goodbye to your game.
I guess they could have had
oh yeah, magnets will wipe that shit off.
Sony tried
What?
the mini disc.
Like your whole game?
Oh yeah, your game
yeah.
on a floppy. Don't put that shit near a magnet.
Same with
That
the
shit is gone.
VHS, right? Isn't
It
that-
would
doesn't that mess
literally
up?
disappear.
No, I think VHSs were fine. Although they shouldn't be if
What?
floppies had that
I
issue.
don't know.
Wait, like your game save or the entire game?
No, the game. It's
file?
just
The entire
it's
game.
whatever.
The game is wiped.
It affects with
It's gone.
whatever's in the little plastic disc or whatever. Probably some kind of
What?
metallic.
Yeah,
So you would buy? So imagine someone buy something that put a magnet. Oh shit, it's gone.
yeah.
What?
I mean, that's not
I
a
can't
normal
even
thing to just
comprehend
have a
that's
magnet.
thing.
You're gonna,
No.
but you
That's
might
so
have shit
weird.
that's magnetic.
It'd
in your
probably have to be
pocket.
fairly strong, I would think. It couldn't be some weak
Yeah.
ass.
It depends.
But
I think
can't believe
floppies you
that,
didn't have to be that strong.
I have to look this up now to see like a documentary.
That blows his
That
mind.
blows
Let's
his
look at
mind.
this young man here. He's like, what?
I'm just confused that you can have something in a memory bank and it literally go away because of another object.
It's just fucking magnets. Magnets would fuck up your CRT.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
that shit? Yeah, you put that shit on.
Well, they had magnets on the back to help alignment and stuff. I found out recently last year.
You fucking put a magnet on your cathode ray tube TV. Like that shit would fuck all your colors up. The screen would be wobbly and permanently. You're fucked. There's no way to fix it.
What?
Yeah, permanently. It's done.
Well,
damn.
They still magnets still affect screens. Not permanently, but
that's crazy.
But I was just thinking like look at the NES. It's 40 years old. Yeah, I had to do a little soldering on the one, but the other one just worked. Like the shit just works. There's no way I expect like a Switch or Switch 2 or PS5 to work in 40 years. Like there's no way. Just that
like you're talking specifically about the fucking cartridge slot and all that kind of shit. I don't see it lasting as long as a fucking NES or Super Nintendo. I think Super Nintendo is probably even better.
I don't think those had fans. Did the N6? I don't think the N64 has a fan either. They use just heat sinks.
No.
What do you think is the last console that would probably last a long time then?
I'd say the N64. Yeah,
I'd say N64.
No disc. I mean, even Dreamcast. You already have issues. Saturn and Dreamcast. You got to align, and PS1. You got to align the lasers and replace stuff.
Yeah.
I had to replace a couple capacitors in that one board. The guy who threw the Nintendo in the garbage because I don't know, just it'd been sitting in a drawer, and I replaced a couple capacitors and cleaned the pins, and frickin' thing works great. So I don't think things are designed and across the board with any type of longevity in mind, really. Like furnaces. My dad, they bought their house when I was 3 years old, so 44 years ago. He's never put a furnace in it since he's had 44 years. He's never had to change the furnace. I've had my house for 20 years. I've had to change the furnace twice. The one that was in there failed within a year. I put one in, that lasted 10 years. I put another one in, and I might get 10. If I'm lucky, I get 15. Yeah. And he's had the same furnace in his house for 44 plus years because it was in there when he bought the house. And he just oils it once a year.
It was just a different mentality. It was just a completely different mentality by companies. They wanted to build the highest quality thing to make their thing stand out. That's how it was back then. And that's why fucking these things were built like tanks. They were built to last forever to prove how good that company was. But even if you look at fucking software, it's not built to last. You got these fucking I was complaining about this shit at work, at school, about how everything is a fucking subscription service. Why do I need a subscription service for fucking Microsoft Word? Are you kidding me? Like, what? Like, it's insane to me. And I don't partake. I use my old ass Microsoft Word, and that shit still works. I am not. There's no way I'm paying a subscription fee for. No way.
What's that free one?
Crazy.
There's a free one that I use.
Google Docs.
There's free ones out there too.
And Google Docs. I'm surprised that Google Docs is not paid, but
you know what else is subscription service? Heated seats in a BMW, remote start in a Mazda, and BMWs. They no longer support the 2019 model or whatever with a subscription. So somebody was paying for it and they use it. Now they're like, oh, your car's too old. We can't no longer support it. It's in the car. The heated elements are in your seat. Like they can't. They just take it away. Insane. My buddy at work.
The new model. That's the new model. That's the new marketing model. Is crack. You give them a little taste. Give them a little taste. You come. I want you to come back now. You got to come back.
Yeah.
That's how they got to keep you. Like what Microsoft is talking about. What's the shit called? What do they call players now? Like what's their model as far as like not high value.
Users?
What is it called? Users, right? It's about active users. Active users. They want active users. Just keep coming back. That's what they care about. They want.
Well, the games
they're looking
too.
at the numbers.
That's what Sony wanted. That's what the
games
Jim
are.
Ryan,
that's what games are. It's not just.
Who was the guy that made that call at Sony? Was it Jim Ryan or the guy before him?
It was probably Jim Ryan.
Like, we need that money, and like the games aren't
to be
successful
fair,
unless they are
Right.
years. They're making money every month for years. Like my buddy at work, same PC guy. Oh, the Battlefield's dead. Like they don't, hardly anybody's playing after 2 months. Like they don't have any new content for or Diablo 4 is dead. They don't have any new content. You don't need new content monthly for every
Just play the
fucking game.
game.
It's a game.
Just-
yeah.
It's made to be played.
Well,
You put your 40, 50 hours in, you beat the game, and you can move
and
on.
you're done. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, oh, it doesn't have any new content. Like, why does it need new content?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Just play the game.
This thing.
Well, that's the
this
thing
game
is
is
that,
complaining
they have trained now players to feel the same about.
Yeah, they trained them that way. They've been trained.
They need, if it's not like you
Content.
said, if
They
it's
need
not,
new
if it's
content,
not
content.
new content, then it's gonna be then it's dead. Or like for instance, like, or how often do people always be looking? And I look too as like what's the active player base 1 month down the road, 3 months, as if we're like some higher up.
You're crackheads.
Yeah.
You're crackheads.
Like
what you are.
what I'm saying? Like, what is it compared
Well-
to this one? And it's like, it's interesting data, but at the same time, it's like they've trained us on like, oh well, this is dead because it doesn't have as high
Yeah.
of this player base. And
Well,
that,
if it depends
and
on the genre too. If its entire
Yeah.
no, but people look at
existence
a
is-
But if I don't get 100
single-player
hours out of my single player game, it's
people
trash.
looking at
Like, I-
single-player games.
yeah,
Yeah,
that I
single
don't
player
understand.
games.
Dude, every single game that comes out now that is able to go on Steam, especially people, because that's where you can track all the like people
I
always
see
be
it
like,
for like the first
this
week,
launched. Exactly, that's where
just
we're
to see
doing
how
our
the
metrics.
sales are. Does this game sell well?
No,
There's-
but we can find out the sales from when
Well, they don't
Capcom
always.
says,
They
"Hey,
don't
this game
always
is
get the
sold, blah, blah,
sales
blah."
though.
Well, we know Crimson Desert, dude. I'm telling you,
Yeah, the
it's
big,
trained.
the
Every
big
game-
successful ones tell you, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah, but every game now, people love to see the active users. Oh well, it's dead because it doesn't have as many
monthly active. Yes, it is. Monthly active users.
At the end of the day, factually, if you can still find a lobby, you good. But people will criticize it because it's not as well performing.
not as many people.
Well, I mean, yeah, if if their business model is needing thousands of players doing microtransactions, then yeah, that's going to
we're
lead.
talking about
No, we're talking about the players.
Again, I'm talking. This is the players. These are people on Twitter and shit.
Yeah.
Saying, and you're just like, man, it's crazy to me that again the industry has trained them for everything has to be live. Everything has to have new content. Everything has to have an active
Constant
player base.
content.
Constant active. If there's not a constant active player base, according to it has to be as big as Arc Raiders. It has to be as big as this. And these aren't people that work for the company. This is people on Twitter just like, oh, this one is flopping, and then it's almost like they
They play games based
in
on
their mind,
popularity.
they don't
That's
want-
what happened to Halo. I think. I feel like that's what happened to Halo. Like that fucking game is great. It's a great fucking game. But people were all bent out of shape about content. Where's my content? I gotta for this multiplayer shit. And I'm like, this is a fantastic fucking single player game, and it has multiplayer, but it doesn't have a constant content.
I think
But
it was the
they were
lack
trained
of.
on that. It's not necessarily their fault. That's how they were trained. And so if you're not feeding that crackhead constantly, they're gonna get upset and bent out of shape. They're gonna crash out.
Wasn't
But
that
not
though
only that,
more
you
so?
can play it today, find a full lobby, perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
people, it's dead.
Perfectly fine. To this day, you
not-
can play that game.
It's not doing as good as Arc Raiders, and it's just like again, and
It's crazy.
You don't even have to talk about a multiplayer game. You can talk about single player games that, of course, are going to have dwindling fan bases over time because they finish the game and move on.
Mm-hmm.
People will be like, I can't believe this has half the amount of active player base as this, and I'm like, bro, they finished the game. They're done. They're moving.
Yeah, they
on.
moved on.
It's like
a
that's
big
just-
part of the audience wanted the single player game. They finished that bitch and they moved on.
Like that's just video
There's
games.
still plenty of fucking people to play online with. What the fuck are you crying about?
But again, like we're talking not like they're talking about single player games at the time, and people are like, oh, I wonder what the act like, bro. I'm not joking. On Reddit, people will predict, and I get it. It's that little dopamine hit where you're like, oh, trying to predict the active player base of the first weekend of the first Saturday and stuff. You will do it, but it's because the industry has trained us on like, hey, what is happening now? Who gives a fuck what's happening in 6 months? That shit's dead. What is the game that is out right now?
Game sold 10 million units. That still ain't good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any like the stuff you're talking about. I don't really see that stuff. What I see is
the fucking time. I'm not even on Twitter, and I see that shit.
what I see is like Resident Evil comes out. Oh, it peaked at 900,000. Oh, the game's selling well. Like this is a
Yeah.
huge hit.
No, like again,
That's
I
what I
get it. Like
see.
that's cool.
I don't see
But like
like, oh, why there's only 50,000 people playing Resident Evil. Like I've never seen anybody say anything
I
like
have
that.
seen, well, I
I
have
see
seen
this
on
shit
Twitter, man.
all the
But
time, brother.
if your
But
game
We in a different algorithm. I see that shit all
if
the
your
time.
game is High Garden or whatever, and your only existence, that game can only exist if people are
sure.
constantly playing and buying and doing microtransactions, then you could say, wow, there's only 2,000 people playing High Guard. This game's fucked. Like they're not going to keep
Yes,
the game.
but if that
Of
was
course.
also a paid game, it also could be different. And at the end of the day, that games will always dwindle and find their smaller core. Like that's just how it's always been
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, but the
I
problem
played
is the
Black Ops 2
games,
on Wii
the
U
model
with
for the
many people.
games. That's
Yeah.
not a success. That's not a model where the game can meet their goals. Like they need to make money, and the way they make money is having people buy
But why? It's
microtransactions.
because it's not a complete game. It's, hey, we got to make a live service and we're
Yeah,
continuing.
Yeah, but
that's a whole
again,
flaw with the live service
the,
stuff. But they
well,
need
yeah,
to
the
have
problem
that.
is 4 or 5 games basically run that live service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you got a new game coming out, yeah, those people, they'll peel themselves away from Fortnite and all the other
Mm-hmm.
shit for a couple weeks, and then they just go right back to Fortnite after that shit. But you still had millions of people that bought that game sometimes, and they had fun when they played it. But you know, unfortunately, the model isn't. The model is you got to sustain this shit for years, and that just doesn't happen from 80-90% of the games that come out live
Yeah.
service.
Well,
They
especially
don't
because
make
most of them
it.
are free to play. Like if you did
Yeah,
if you
oh, fuck.
charged for a game, you made your money back, and then you decided to maybe do a few months of extra little DLC or something like that,
Mhm.
like a traditional life cycle used to
Mhm.
be. And then people just still play the game over time, and if you have a dwindling base, it doesn't matter because you already made your money. It's whatever, and now you just have that core base. But I really believe there are people that will not play a game due to its
Well, yeah,
low
you're talking about
numbers.
people who probably only play a game if it's popular. That's probably why
Right.
they care.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's
For
like
sure.
only like I want to play it on power thing, and so it's like, oh, it's like look at all this thing's dead, and it's like, but if you can still find a lot, again, I'm also talking about like pay. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
you're
Free to
talking
play
about like
game,
an online
you need-
mode in a game that came out years ago. Yeah,
yeah.
if
It's
there's
like
a
a
lobby,
free to
there's a
play.
lobby.
You
But
do need, yeah, free to play. You do need like
if they
constant, like,
need constant income to keep the game going, then you can't
but
say it's
just
not
a
dead.
hey, you paid $60 or whatever, and it starts dwindling like
Marvel Avengers.
to find stuff like it is what it is.
Like
You know?
the online mode in the Last of Us game, people played that for years and years. Like it's just
Mhm.
you bought it, it was an online mode. It wasn't required. It didn't require you to
It's a fairly good online mode.
pay for
Really good.
stuff and like to keep it alive.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
Factions, the factions.
because you bought the game, you know, like that was just a part of. I just like it's just weird because nowadays, I mean, other than like Call of Duty, like there's if you're a multiplayer shooter, you almost build your game as a multiplayer shooter. That's it. Like there's no single player component. It's Call of Duty's really only the one that does the campaign plus the multiplayer. You know, even Halo separated
Yeah.
itself in a way where you pay for the single player, but the multiplayer is free.
And there are times when they stopped, right? There were times where Call of Duty didn't have a fucking
Couple times,
single
I
player.
Only once. Only once.
Was it only
and-
once?
and-
Was it only once?
and that kind of
Okay.
bit them in the ass for that one. But
Yeah.
that was Black Ops 4. That was actually the one Call of Duty that I never picked up because I was like, I actually like playing on single player.
I was
games.
gonna say I actually like playing the fucking single.
Yeah.
I think they're underrated. Some of the campaigns.
Dude, I just played the Modern Warfare 2 and I was very surprised. I was like, man, these later half Call of Duties have been fucking really good in terms
Yeah.
of like changing up how you play. I was very surprised to be
I
honest.
don't even think I tried
I have,
Black
I have a
Ops
blast
3.
for 8 to 10 hours or whatever those campaigns are, and
Yeah.
I don't need the multiplayer a lot of times. I just want to play. The
Yeah, I mean,
campaign.
like this one they had like I was surprised they had like you were solo and then you had to like craft you have to craft like materials around you and you're sneaking around this semi bigger map. They had another one where again another like actual big map where I think it was like who was it like Price or whatever. He's like shooting from far and you're like infiltrating this one area. I was like, dude, they had like a nice variety of missions. I was
Mhm.
like, I'm actually impressed by this, man. What the hell's going
The big Hollywood fucking action movie storyline and
Yeah.
shit.
And
That's cool.
again, like I think they and I did hear like I haven't played like Black Ops 7 or stuff, but I heard that they didn't do a great job on that one apparently. But like I was impressed since like I would say since 2019 Modern Warfare, they've they've like made strides to make it feel different, like actually have a variety of objectives. And so it's made me more like looking forward to playing
Well, the
those.
first Modern Warfare was the single player was pretty damn good. And
Yeah.
obviously I'm talking about the original Call of Duty 4 Modern
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Warfare.
Call of Duty 4. Yeah.
But the
PS3,
multiplayer is what made
Xbox
it the
360.
huge hit. I will say
Yeah.
though, I think it is. I have seen people say, "Man, look at there's like 50,000 people playing some old like Red Dead Redemption 1." Like that.
Mhm.
That to me is always fascinating. Like, damn.
No, I do find it
After all
impressive.
these
Yeah, that's
years,
cool.
there's that many
I'm
That's
people
cool.
look,
playing that
I'm a
game.
stat guy. I get that. Like I do find it impressive, but the industry is tries to push it.
Yeah.
Tries to push
Well,
consumers.
why does that happen though? It's not random. A lot of times it's they just dropped an update in 60 frames and blah 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 blah, and that's when you see a bunch of people jump back in and shit.
Yeah.
So
But even there's some single player games that literally do live on it. And but I think
yeah,
the thing is that I think I think unfortunately there are people, especially online, that will like weaponize
oh yeah, that happens all the time.
they'll
Fanboy
weaponize like
weaponization.
user accounts. They'll use and it's
Like,
almost like it's again straight up fanboy war sort of stuff.
it's
But it's like
fanboys, yeah, it's fanboy shit.
you want
Yeah,
to say platform, you like all on PC, but I guess you gotta be fanboys in
you shit on PC until you can use Steam numbers to talk about how a game is. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't even. Where's this coming from? Oh, all of a sudden you're using Steam numbers and shit to discredit the game.
I could see like analytically. All right, how if you're either whether you're a fan of the company or you're an employee or a board member or something. Let's say what was a mod release like Apex Legends. Say what was that first month like? Trying to if you're gonna make an online game, you know you always want to compare, see how you're doing, whether it's box office numbers,
sure.
you know, you always want to see somehow to rate the success or maybe try to sell the success and use something that you can find something you can use. Oh, we had, you know, the most peak players in an online shooter since I don't think people do that, but I mean, I think it's interesting.
Well, I remember Call of Duty saying the most hours played since blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well now you're stretching the truth.
So like if I was releasing a game, I was
talking
releasing an
about the hours
online
played,
game, and I was like, all right, you know, I would obviously want to see what are we doing, you know, like when Silk Song came out, I remember it was, I don't think it was a huge numbers, but I feel like it was pretty big peak users at
that
first.
was big. That was huge.
Because I've never heard sales numbers for that game.
Huge.
I've never heard one, whether they announced it. I never saw it. I have no idea what Silk Song sold. So I was like, wow, that must have done pretty well because it had a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And from that's the only perspective I ever really take when I see that kind of stuff.
No, for sure. And again, I like seeing that like stats. So I love.
But I've never seen people like, oh, this single player game's only got 10,000 viewers after 2 months. Like why? I mean, yeah, it tells you that the game doesn't have, it's not evergreen apparently, but or it could be. You know, those could be 10,000 people that bought the game recently. You know, like everyone else is done playing it. You don't keep playing a game forever. So it's just
exactly like my thing is like if you're talking about a single player game, like unless you're constantly getting new people buying that single player game, like
well, if it's an evergreen title, I would assume like Breath of the Wild kept selling over the course of time. Mario Kart 8 kept selling. Deluxe, I mean, like Silk Song has sold over 7 million copies with 3 months. After 3 months, they must not have an update. Yeah,
That's how you build up anticipation for that fucking game. Years that people
and it was a $20 game. You know, I don't know how much Steam gets. So even if Steam
gets 70% or 70%, 20 or is it 20 to 30%?
So you know, 7 million times 13. That's how much money that brought in for them. That's
dude. They made bank.
100,000 or not 100,000
700,000
70
million,
no $13 times 7 that's 70 20 it's 91 million
91 million. You know that.
Yeah, you're talking about a tiny team.
Yeah,
they good for life. They don't have to rush anything out. They can just sit back and make games at their leisure.
They already made that type of money on
they did that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they did that with
Imagine
they weren't in any rush.
They could have doubled that by charging 40. They probably wouldn't have hurt their sales whatsoever. That's crazy.
It would have hurt their rep.
Imagine being in that position, like, okay, we can make 91 million, or we can make 180 million, or just whatever. 100 million or 200
Yeah.
million. We charge 20 or we charge 40. Like that would be like honestly, if I was,
I would have charged 30
Well, here's the
personally.
thing. Maybe you don't sell as many copies
yeah, it's
at that price
possible, but
because $20 is like, oh, that's that's an impulse buy. You can
It is an impulse buy. Yeah, that's like an
right.
impulse
So
buy.
it's like, and it's easy when everybody's talking about Silksong, blah 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 blah. You go buy that shit. You might even play the motherfucker. You might be like me, sitting on the bitch, still ain't played it yet, but you heard people talk about it. You're excited. It was like, oh, it's only $20, and you buy this shit. Like that's how you get that many sales. A lot of
Like I'll
times.
tell you right now, on Steam, the peak all-time peak for Silksong for user base was obviously like the first day, and it was 587,000 players all
Yeah.
at once. Like that's
People
crazy.
had
That's for one
because
platform. One platform.
yeah.
people had Hollow Knight Blue Balls. It was like,
But you know what?
they released.
But
That bitch finally came out.
Like, oh, but it's a dead game because what? There's only 5,000 players playing right now currently.
It's dead, bro. That game dead.
Hey, man. No, it's a single player game and people have played it, finished it.
But that 5,000, most of that could be a new 5,000 every week.
be
Is
new
buying
players.
the game,
Exactly. Everybody else done beat the rinse the shit out of the game. They're done. But that's 5,000 new people maybe, and you keep getting that. So that's they playing the long game because they could have said we're gonna charge $40-$50 for a Silk Song, blah blah blah, whatever, and that might have rubbed some people the wrong way. But people are like, man, this game is fantastic. They're only charging $20 for that shit.
Imagine
Build a fan base. You build a audience that is hardcore to you. They love what you do. Kind of like fucking what's Witcher 3 and
I mean,
I can't think of their name right now.
CD Projekt?
Yeah, CD Projekt Red, right? So they do a lot of shit that nobody does anymore. They actually put fucking they put stickers and fucking all this shit.
Yeah.
They put stickers, they put CDs, they put fucking instruction manuals, maps and shit in their fucking games. They give you free updates, all this kind of stuff that ingratiates themselves with fans. And fans will put up with their bullshit once in a while because they know at CD Projekt Red, they go the extra mile a lot. They put that fucking game on Switch 2, put it all in the cartridge. That wasn't by accident. They knew what they were doing. They knew they were ingratiating themselves with Nintendo fans by doing that. Putting it all on the cartridge. Same thing with Witcher 3. They put it all on the cart, all the DLC. Nobody does that. Nobody else does that shit.
Yeah.
And they did it because they know that what's make them stand out.
They even said that in an interview that they know that Nintendo fans appreciate physical. Like
exactly.
They do their market study. And they actually said, "All right, we got to do it.
Right.
We got to do it."
That is by design. It's not a mistake. They do that shit, and the companies that do that they're playing the long game. They're not playing let's make the quick buck and be out. They're playing the long game. So next time they put a game out, all those fans that were like excited and happy that they put that shit on the cart and put all that DLC on there, they're gonna be looking up. They might not even care about the game that they're making, but they'll go out and support that bitch because they're like, we want to support these practices.
And that's what we said about like Nintendo and third party for years, where it's like you can't just drop one game expected to sell as good as the other platform. You gotta engross them for the next generation. Generation.
You gotta put the work in.
You have to make sure that hey, we're supporting Nintendo till we die. It's like that's what it's supposed to be, and then you'll see the effect. You can't just well, it's a big player base. Why don't they buy as much? Like I'm like, bro, you
did nothing to ingratiate yourself with the fans. You did nothing.
They don't even know your franchise. You got to build.
You're entitled. You think, did all these people have a Switch too or whatever? They're just gonna buy my game. No, that ain't how that shit works. That's not how it works.
Projekt Red is seeing the benefit. The Switch 2 or the Switch for Witcher 3 sold really well over the years.
Yeah,
it became like
years after that game came out. It doesn't look nearly as good as the other versions, but look how well it did.
Same thing with the honestly with even like Capcom coming back and supporting like every like modern release, like hey, let's really focus and put back stuff on them. Obviously Monster Hunter Rise did really well for them and stuff. So it's like, it's just you can't just come in and be like, oh, we're dropping this, and they're like, why didn't it sell so well?
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, with the Wii U, whereas Assassin's Creed 3 was late and all of, and then you have the unfinished things. The Call of Duty doesn't get the DLC, and
Mhm.
like, what are you doing? You can't. You got to be complete. Look at CD Projekt Red, everything complete to the point where you
Complete.
can't go more complete.
Final
So,
version
literally
on the cart. Final
on
version,
the cart.
complete version of that game on a
I'm
cart.
surprised they haven't done a Switch 2 upgrade for Witcher 3 yet.
I am surprised about that too. Yeah,
They might
there's
be
enough
working on it.
people that it would matter
Did
to.
they talk about that or something like that? Could I be wrong?
They've done it for the PS5 and Series X. They did a next gen update, but anyway,
Hogwarts got an update, right?
what did?
Well, that had a new port, like that.
It was a new
Yeah,
game.
it's a new
Okay,
game. Maybe they'd have to do
Yeah.
that for Witcher, but
Yeah.
probably.
I was just thinking,
probably.
Silk Song's $20. Imagine spending $20 on that, and when you could have spent it on Drag X Drive and Welcome Tour. Could have got you for $20. You could have had those two games,
Robert,
instead of one Silk Song game.
My thing is again, I will always say that that's one thing that is annoying about Silksong, as cool as fantastic, but there are still people who's like, what? Why would I buy this $60 game when I could just buy Silksong for $20? And I'm like, all right, bro, like they're a
that's the
3-man
low.
team.
I did
bro.
put 50.
They can do this shit. Like, I hate to break it to you, that's even smaller indie titles. A lot of them can't do that shit.
But
they're already made millions of dollars. That's the only reason they can do this shit.
I
bro.
think the game that came out around the same time wasn't there a Pokemon game or something close to that, where it's like, $20 for Silksong, you guys charge $70 for this.
Nintendo can do it. And it's funny because I had already said that before I even owned the game that Astrobot. What is it called? Is there a subtitle?
It's just Astrobot.
Okay. I'm talking about the one that comes with the PS5.
Astro's Playroom.
Okay, yeah. So I was already saying that, and it is a fantastic showcase for the fucking controller and all that stuff, right? So it's very similar to what a welcome tour or whatever. It is a way to welcome you to your console and let you see how the cool haptic shit and all that. And I was saying all that before I owned the game. I say that shit even more now that I own PS5, and like it's for them to not charge for Playroom, Astro's Playroom, is crazy to me.
I would have paid money, absolutely.
And even with a
would have
used one,
absolutely paid.
like you got it with a used one. You don't even have to.
I got it with a used one. Yeah, I didn't even buy a new fucking PS5. I got it with a used PS5, and I still was able to download the game, and
delete it.
It is fucking fantastic. And I look at that, and again, I give the side eye to fucking Welcome Tour. Maybe honestly, not Drag X Drive as much, but definitely Welcome Tour. That you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed.
Honestly, I think
that you're charging for that shit.
Because there's no Reggie. I think if Reggie was there, I think they would have put Welcome
Tour.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that Reggie like with Wii Sports and shit. He probably would have pushed.
Because it's not even.
I agree.
I mean, from what I've seen, people who actually own it, it's not even really that much game stuff in Welcome Tour. Like there's some.
No, it's not. It's not really.
There's a couple little ones.
Yeah,
but they're like.
It's funny. I know from people that play it says it's pretty interesting and stuff. But the thing is, that
it looks like it. Yeah.
The thing is, like, it's literally called Welcome Tour, bro.
How can you welcome people to something if they, if you don't automatically have it for them to use? You're asking them to pay to be welcomed to their console that you just sold them. That's crazy to me.
That was like the easiest hacking title maybe of all time.
Yeah, and again, I don't need Welcome Tour. Like, I'm not mad.
I would have played it if I had it.
Exactly. I would have played the shit if I owned it. For
oh yeah, 1-2 switch, 1-2 switch. Forgot about that one.
I think 1-2 switch is different.
Yeah, we've talked. That's not quite. I mean, they could have packed it in, but that's not quite like a showcase.
How many did it sell? Like 10 million or something?
No. I think it sold like 2 to 4 million.
Yeah, it was like it was low. Yeah, it wasn't that much.
I mean, not many.
You sure? I think.
No. I mean, it wasn't 10 million. It wasn't that much, is what I'm saying.
I thought it got up there after.
It sold over 3. It says 3.74 million.
Yeah.
But this is by 2022,
which is pretty good.
I mean,
like,
dude, you know that
Nintendo
shit
wiped
made
their
money.
ass with that. That ain't nothing to them.
Yeah, no, but that made money probably after like 10 copies.
I'd say
Yeah, that's what I'm
10,000
saying.
copies. It was profitable.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
strange.
That's what I meant. Like you didn't need, you don't need that money. That money,
Well, it didn't help.
ingratiate yourself with the
Yeah,
fans.
even Welcome Tour probably they make money after like 100 copies, man. Come on,
And
yo.
and to be fair, 1-2 Switch is a really good showcase piece for what the Switch can do.
Rumble.
Yeah, with the HD Rumble, not only that, but just kind of the concept of the console itself. Taking it out because it's mostly, if not all, off the
Handheld?
TV. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it all off? Yeah, it's all off, right? Which is a big part of what the Switch is about. So it made a lot of sense to just pack that shit in and say, hey, look at this cool shit that my new console can do. But they were a little greedy. They were a little greedy on that
Hey,
one.
it paid
But
off.
yeah, but I think that was like one where it's like
It worked out for them on that one.
Yeah, and I think like again, he really pushed hard for obviously Wii Sports. And
They did not want to give that bitch away.
Yeah,
They did
I
not
love
want
the
to give
story.
that
I
game
love
away.
that story with Miyamoto.
That's a great
and stuff.
story.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. But that and then like it was like we do not give things for free.
And I mean, I'm sorry, Wii
They were like
Sports.
so confused. So we're not gonna give it away.
Wii Sports was awesome, but as a standalone game, I mean, I would say it probably lacks some modes. If I'm paying $50-$60 for it, it's lacking. But as a free title, it's like one of the best ever. Like or packing.
Well,
them.
that's the thing.
I think
in Japan,
$50
it's
was
not
like
not
the
a
highest
pack-in.
price
In
for
Japan,
Wii games,
it's
right?
not a pack-in.
No,
Yeah, in Japan it wasn't a pack-in.
because
Yeah,
I'm like
and
it's
they
a
had to
little
buy
bare
it.
bones if I have to buy it. Like the golf to me
Yeah.
was almost unplayable most. Cause,
It is a very bare bones fucking game if you have to buy it. Yes, but it's a perfect pack-in title. It's perfect,
Yeah,
and
that's why
Reggie knew that,
Yeah,
and he fought for it, and God bless him for doing that because it also, I think, it helped the Wii
sold a lot of Wiis.
definitely over here.
Yeah,
It helped
like
that bitch
people
sell.
bought the Wii for Wii Sports, and it was
And
just
people
like,
never bought anything else. They just bought a Wii and had Wii Sports, and they were good.
Oh, they bought
So-
Wii Fit probably.
They got Wii Fit, and maybe what was the other one?
Mario Kart Wii sold crazy.
Mario Kart Wii sold
And
like crazy. but
Wii
no,
the
there's
controller one.
Yeah, Wii Sports.
Yeah, the bullshit.
Oh,
What
we
is it
played.
called?
We
Play garbage. That shit is garbage. But that sold
so
because they
funny,
packed in
yeah,
a fucking controller. That's why that shit sold because they packed the controller in.
Yeah, I mean, I had there was some fun mini games. I like the
Wii Fit, or excuse me, Wii Play was
there's some weird shit.
ass.
There's some weird
That game
shit
was
on Wii
ass
Play.
to me. But I
Like,
bought it.
it's-
I bought it for one fucking reason. That bitch had a controller in it, and you couldn't find those goddamn extra controllers anywhere at the time. And I was like, "Yep, I'll buy it for the pack-in controller." And that was
funny
it.
'cause I never knew that that they had a sequel to Wii Play until like only a few years ago. Like I never knew they made a
Yeah,
sequel.
the sequel is actually a good game, but Wii Play the first one,
That was
I thought
too
that
late.
shit was
That was
trash.
also too late. I think it came out like 2011 or some shit. I don't know.
2011, I think it was pretty late.
Yeah, because I'm
2010,
like, I never
2011.
even heard of this, man. Let me see if we play Motion. What a weird. Yeah, 2011. Very strange.
Yeah,
That
All
was a
right,
very
well
last-
let's
could say
Yeah,
the
that-
Wii U.
getting a little long in the
Sure.
tooth here. We better we'll wrap this up. Good talk though. We had some catching up to do, and
Yeah.
So thanks you guys for tuning in, and
Tamagotchi. I'm gonna get that bitch.
we'll
Cheers,
see you guys
baby.
next week. I got a
Actually,
little
yeah, it's not
distracted. Right, I clicked on this right as I started talking.